Welcome everyone to the PJ's Cast. I'm your host Pierce, alongside of my good pal Dylan. Well, here we are, 1st of June. Happy Pride Month. Vibes
There's
are
no way
immaculate
it's
today.
June, dude. There's no way
Yeah,
it's
I know.
June. Oh, it's crazy.
Crazy. Hey, what? Less than it's 3
Oh, we're four
weeks.
weeks away, baby. We're
Yeah,
four
four
weeks
weeks
away
away
from
till the
showtime.
draft. I can't do my
Oh,
math
got
today. I can't
everything
remember the top of
fucked.
my
We
head.
got everything sealed for it. I'm so pumped. Like I took the days off work. We got the tickets ready. We got the hotels ready. I just saw like what the Grateful Dead concert looked like in the Sphere, and I'm just imagining like Caden Lindstrom's face on the Sphere like that. It's gonna be
Just all the
incredible.
way around, yeah.
It's gonna be incredible. Like, have you seen that meme of like the new Bad Boys movie where it's like Martin Lawrence looking at the fish tank and his face is super elongated because it's an
Oh yeah,
IMAX?
yeah, yeah.
That's how it's gonna be. But yeah, we're hitting the tail end of the season. I didn't mean to cut you off, but just
Oh
really
no,
pumped
no,
with the
you're
draft.
good. I can't wait till Lou Lamorella does that with pick number 20. Where do you want to start? Do you want to talk
I
about
mean,
the
you already kind of led into it.
yeah,
Let's start. Like,
yeah. Initially I wanted to be like the vibes are good today. It's June, the weather's so nice out. Living in Edmonton, I work with a lot of Oilers fans, so naturally the Oilers being up 3-2 has got everyone happy. But no, we can start off with the trade that the Blackhawks made with the Islanders and then go into the mock draft and then talk about the conference finals afters. Um, so last week, I believe it was last Friday, a little over a week now, the Blackhawks made a trade with the Islanders. They got pick number 18. Hang on, I gotta pull up the actual picks here because I honestly forget. I know they got pick 18, moving up 2 spots from number 20. And then I think they moved up one of their second round picks, and then they traded their extra second round pick, which was basically a third round pick, to move up 6 spots. And at first I was like, don't love that. But then also, like, this draft, the top is very good, but then there's such a drop off in talent. So Kyle Davidson, even a month out from the draft, must know like what players they want and is pretty confident they're going to be there. Um, I forgot what I was gonna say, but I don't know. What do you think of the trade? I feel they have so many draft picks. It's like I don't love it, but also I kind of understand why. I mean, all these draft picks you have, like you're not going to be able to sign all of them. I mean, might as well move up if you can, I guess. I don't get why it's done a month out. to the,
like at the end of the day, I think we've had
oh,
this talk at least 10 this year. Like they have enough, they have a crazy amount of picks to the point to where even if all these guys hit, there's not enough room on the roster for it. So you have to start recollecting your options. And honestly, the more I think about the trade, the more I'm okay with it. Just because, the 2 seconds were like late 50s and then our second. So it's just like if you can move up even a couple spots in the second round, I think that's a win. And I'd rather have an earlier first round pick than have multiple second round picks. Like they already had the 3 second round pick draft last year. They got Kanserov, they got Mishiak, and they got Guyan. And it's just like, that's always great. Like all three are great prospects, I think. But I think it's just I want more quality in the prospect pool. And depending on what they do at 2, I mean, obviously the rumors going around about, like apparently the Hawks are extremely like this is like defenseman seems like a real possibility for them at number 2. As much as I would like them to go forward, but if they are going to go defenseman, you need to move higher up in the first round to get another forward. Because the more I was looking at our mock draft, yeah, I get why they moved up now because I genuinely don't like a lot of forwards after like pick 15. So, and yeah, like obviously there's going to be someone like a Wyatt Johnston who like I wasn't too fond of, or I didn't really get why he got drafted where he got drafted, and now he's a stud. So like obviously there's cases of where that can happen. I just think personally that I'd much rather have the Hawks have a higher quality pick to go for that forward. Now, let's say they do that, ludicrous trade of like Marner for Jones plus or Marner for Jones 1-for-1. I don't really care. But like, let's say they do get Mitch Marner, that really does open up your pool to what you could do at 2. But I don't know. Like, I just think, like, I think of it like this: if the Hawks pick Demidov at 2, or Lindstrom, or anyone, or let's say they pick forward, right? You have the luxury at pick 18 to where because I was mocking it, one of Emery, Juracek, or Yakimchuk is going to drop. All three of them are not going to go before you pick 18. So you can get a defenseman still at that point. Forward wise, I think it gets a little more tricky because if you go Lev Shunov at 2, you like maybe like they're really high on Trevor Connolly, or which is fine. Like I think I've talked about in the past. I think Ryder Ritchie's someone that Kyle Davidson's going to look at his raw tool set and think like, oh, we can develop this. And there's a good amount of size later on in the draft, but it's just I don't know. I'd rather just have really skilled forwards and fill out the stuff they need in free agency rather than pick a defenseman and try to shoot for a forward in free agency. Because the forward's easier to solve, but I don't know. Like we've seen so many cup champs. They don't have a number one defenseman. A lot do. I'm not going to say they don't. Like clearly, like we can run down the list. I mean, Vegas had Alex Pietrangelo. Like he's still number
Shea
one.
Theodore and
exactly. Bill McCarr was on Colorado. Victor
Devon
Hedman.
Taves could be a number one, like a borderline number one for most NHL teams, but on Colorado,
for sure. But it's just, I don't know. I need to see more from this defenseman class. Like, there's probably a number one defenseman in this class. Like, Lev Shunov probably could be that. But like, the more I look into it, the more I just like, I'm not trying to pin a future, but I just feel like if he ends up becoming a 40-point defenseman and he can defend, but he can't do everything. Like if they're looking at him like he's going to be the Charlie McAvoy of this team, take him. That's 100%. Like if you think he's going to be Charlie McAvoy or Miro Heiskanen, which I think Heiskanen is what they want him to be. Like I look at Lev Shunov's game at Michigan State. I look at how he moves the puck. I look at how he transitions defensively in his gap control. I think that he could be Heiskanen just right-handed, but dude, it's second overall pick. And there's a guy on the board who people are saying is better than Michkov, who was a guy that shouldn't have even fallen as far as he did in the last draft. I don't know. Like I always say, I don't envy that decision Davidson makes. I know we were trying to talk about pick 18, but it always transitions back to pick 2 because whatever they do at pick 2 is depicting what they're doing at pick 18. And I think I've told you this multiple times. If they're picking a defenseman, you're either trading for a forward or you're moving up. There's no in between. Mm-hmm. You either go get like a Natchez or Zegras or Marner or some high-end forward that can play with Bedard, or you're going to move up and try to go snag a Tija Ginlo or a Cole Eiserman or a Bennett Seneke or someone like Branson Nygaard, someone like that. That's just my 2 cents. I don't want to keep rambling, but
yeah, I don't think like obviously we could probably rule out that they're not going to go defenseman at number 2 or number 18. Yeah, number 2, it's they're probably going to take it right to the end. I remember Montreal with the number 1 overall pick in 2022. That was right till the bitter end because we had no idea who was going number 1. Like they talked about.
We literally thought Emily Kaplan was bullshitting us at one point. And then after that interview, she tweeted it out. We were just like, oh, well, there we go. You could kind of hear like a little gasp in the lobby. I remember that was pretty funny. But
yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off again.
But it's one of those things where, it is a privilege to have the number 2 overall pick. Like that's a very good pick. They're going to get a very good player, but it's a matter of who are they going to take? What do they want? And reading the article by Scott Powers, it still sounds like it's mainly Demidov versus Lev Shunov, which I'm fine with. There's basically like a tier of reactions that I would have to each player they draft that they've kind of been linked to. Like Ivan Demidov, like I'm going crazy like how he drafted Frank Nazar and like Oliver Moore. I would love that. That's the guy I want them to get. If they get Lev Shunov, Lindstrom, like I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like I wouldn't have gone that, but I'm definitely okay with that. Anton Silyayev.
I'll be so fucking pumped if they draft Lindstrom. If Davis has got the balls to take him second, like, oh yeah, I'm all the way bought in. But sorry, like, because like at this point, Davis has got to have a lot of balls to take Lindstrom at 2 with who's on the board. Sorry.
Yeah, but with Anton Silyayev, I'm not like pumped, but I'm definitely not mad. I'm like, interesting. Like you can definitely see why Kyle Davidson, with how they've been building this defense, would want someone like Anton Silyayev, and it's not surprising that they're looking into him, and apparently they've been looking into Kane Lindstrom, but obviously the main debate is Demidov versus Lev Shunov, and honestly, I have no idea where it's going to go. But yeah, I totally agree. If like they get a defenseman at number 2, like you have to move up into at least like close to, maybe not into the
Top
top 10, but
15.
like 11, 12, 13th to
Yep.
see if maybe one of those forwards drop. Like, I don't know if Berkeley Catton would drop, but there's gonna be a run on defensemen at the top, and forwards are gonna fall. So
Mhm.
either Kyle Davidson's gonna move up, and if they don't have the forward that they want there, then you gotta trade one of those. You gotta trade number 18 to get like a ready forward. Maybe not Mitch Marner unless they want Seth Jones, and you could sway a trade where it's like Jones 18 and like I don't even know, like
Probably
Reichel
Taylor
maybe
Hall
for
half for
Marner.
probably Taylor Hall half for Tane, if we're being
There,
honest.
there you go.
Like,
You
but
do
even
that.
then, like that makes little sense for the Leafs because then they're well, unless we retain on Jones too. But even then all three of your retention slots are up. Like this is a very complicated trade. The more you go down that road, unless it's 1-for-1, then we can. I I don't know. Like I just like now the more these articles are coming out and the more we hear from like the Hawks beat writers, just like what they're hearing, I'm starting to think it's going to be Lev Shunov, and then they're going to sign Patrick
Yeah.
Kane back to the Hawks. Like I really think that's what's going to end up happening, and it's going to be their short term solution to getting Bedard a skilled forward. Like majority of the fan base is going to welcome him back with open arms. Obviously, yeah.
I was gonna say, like owners want to make money. You know what's gonna make you money? Sign Patrick Kane back. Like the day
You know how many
they
people are
announced,
going to
like
buy an 88 jersey again with a
I was
C
gonna
on
say,
it? Like,
the
come on.
day there's like, you know how usually before free agency there's like a couple of days where players are allowed to talk to teams. Like the moment it's like,
Tampering
oh,
period.
there's huge interest with Chicago, like Patrick Kane going back to Chicago. You know, jerseys are like Patrick Kane jerseys are gonna be flying off the shelves, and then as soon as they get new ones in, like that's gonna be sold out as well. Like I totally get why ownership would want Patrick Kane back, and from what I was hearing from Scott Powers, I think it was, he was saying like Kyle Davidson isn't too bullish on bringing him back, but there are apparently a lot of people in the organization that
Higher
do
ups.
want him back. And for me, like this team, well, with the old regime of Stan Bowman, like it was always, oh, we got to get former Blackhawks, and I'm still kind of like thinking about that. I'm like, oh, I don't want Patrick Kane back, but then like thinking about it more, I'm like, he's not gonna want too much. Like, how much he's gonna want? Like 3-4 million, maybe. Like, I don't think he's gonna want much more than that, does he?
Dude, I'll even go farther. I think they're like, if you find because like you know me, I'm pretty on the fence with this. Like I look at it from an on ice and off ice perspective. An off ice perspective, it doesn't make a lot of sense because then you're gonna have a confliction in the locker room because Bedard is your next captain. You can't even fucking deny it at this point.
Yeah.
Unless you're gonna give Foligno like the bridge captaincy,
Mm-hmm.
it's Bedard's team. And you bring
Yeah.
Patrick
Oh yeah.
Kane back in that locker room, it's gonna become Patrick Kane's team because it always was. So you're gonna have that dynamic, but also like from an on ice perspective, this is the guy you want to get Bedard's shot going in this league. This is the guy that made Alex DeBrincat a 40-goal scorer twice. Alex DeBrincat hasn't even touched 30 goals since he played with Patrick Kane. People need to realize that. Like, and he played with them this year, and he still couldn't get it. I think you and I both said on this at one point, we were like, I need to see him after the hip surgery because we watched him for 3 years. He couldn't move. I'll be the first to say it. Kind of looks like 2019 Patrick Kane last year in Detroit. He played extremely well in a top 6 role. Obviously, they sheltered his minutes because they had enough depth to where that you don't have to play him 20 minutes a night. But the Hawks could do that too, obviously. And I don't know, man. It's really hard to talk someone out of a power play with Bedard and Kane on it. Like, give those two more ice and go get someone who can go to the front of the net. It's going to be a problem. That's why from an on-ice perspective, I get it. And like from a front office perspective, like ownership wants to make money. Like you said, it's the easiest way to make money. But I 100% get where Davidson's coming from. You need to make this a new regime, and there are other answers to getting that. It's just if you can't fill it through trade or the draft, you're going to run out of options. And at the end of the day, that might be the best option. Just because he already wants to come back. He never wanted to fucking leave in the first place. He still has his home in Illinois, for God's sake. Like, this is a very real thing. I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, obviously, if he comes back, like, I can't wait to see it on the ice. But I really think if it's going to happen, it's either they went defenseman and they couldn't get the trade they wanted, or they really want that 1 year stopgap before Demidov gets there. Because at the end of the day, in terms of high end talent, Kane's the easiest one to talk into coming back to Chicago. Like straight up.
Mhm.
Like, how are you gonna like? I'm just speaking from a market standpoint. How do you convince like a Jonathan Marshall show to come to Chicago? Genuinely, Conn Smythe winner. How do you convince Chandler Stevenson, who could easily get 6x6 on the open market? Why should he come to Chicago? A contender will give him that money. The Hawks are in a very tricky spot right now. If you don't get that forward through trade or the draft, you might run out of options. That's just my 2 cents. Because it's not even just a top 6 forward. You need someone who can keep up with Connor Bedard. We saw this with McDavid. Like, I don't mean to keep rambling, but like we saw this with McDavid for like a 5-year span. Like, they're like, oh, we'll throw Dominic Cahoon on this one. Like, I love Dominic. Ugh, God, like we can't have our Milan Lucic contract. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Straight up. That's just what it comes down to at the end of the day. And I think unless they have a plan that we just don't know about, and it's like, you know, oh, we're going to take it left shoot off, but we have plans for getting it forward for Bedard. I don't see why it wouldn't hurt for a year, but also like I could see them get like, this is where I'm getting crazy, but like, because they're already trying to, you know, reach the floor and Davidson overpays. Like, who's to say he doesn't give him like a Pavelski in Dallas deal? If like,
I would love Joe. There's a couple guys on Dallas side would want. I would like Joe Pavelski. I would like Matt. I think Matt Duchene would be a great fit in Chicago just because he plays with a bunch of speed, and obviously Chris Tanev. But yeah,
Chris Tanev to be at the top of their list regardless. But obviously Pavelski would be great. Madison Kid. I know the Hawks were trying to get him a couple years ago, but it was between Dallas and Tampa. Yeah. They tried to get Anders Lee too that year. I remember. Like clearly people want to play in Chicago. Like even if the team sucks, the city sells itself. The organization sells itself, even with its blemishes the last 5 years, like the history and everything. I don't know, man. Like every time we have this talk, it comes back to the same point, which is that Kyle Davidson's got a lot to prove this offseason. Like the last 2 off seasons, it's been tearing it down and drafting well, which he's done well in both regards, I'd say. Now you got to build. And you can't build half-ass with this guy. Because it'd be one thing if they picked 4th last year and they picked Will Smith and they're picking 2nd this
year. His ELC, by the way. Good for him.
Yeah, congratulations. Awesome. Mm-hmm. Like, I can't wait to see him with Celebrini this year.
That's going to be fun. And, like,
so much fun.
Yeah, not to, like, go too sidetrack, but, yeah, like, San Jose, like, with another – and they still have another top 15 pick from Pittsburgh, like, another year of draft. Like, they're probably a year behind what the Blackhawks are. Yeah, like, they'll get guys.
100%. They're gonna have their 2022 draft this year. And honestly, who's to say that last year's draft wasn't asked? They got him and Musty, dude. That was awesome.
I forgot. Yeah, Musty too. There you go.
Musty has such a good D+1 year. Like San Jose has put themselves in a very good spot. They just need to. They're going to be in the same position the Hawks are in. You can't put bums around these guys. You can't put bums around Celebrini. You can't put bums around Bedard. And like I said, ball's in Davidson's court, and if he fucks it up, there'll be a lot of people pointing fingers. That's all I'm going to say. And I'm not expecting playoffs next year. I want to see a team rebuilding is not like this. It's exponential growth, right? I just want to see. I want to see you start getting to here, because then once you're here, that's when you shoot up, because you have the youth, you have the veteran leadership, you have the depth. They have the youth right now. And the youth's not here yet. They don't have depth. And I'll argue they do have some veteran leadership. Like guys like Dickinson, guys like Foligno, guys like even Jones. Like they have leaders on this team, but I'm talking leaders that can produce at a high level type thing. You know what I mean? I'm going in circles, but Davidson's got a lot to prove this offseason. That's all it comes back to.
Yeah. There's still another, I say there's still another month. Like that month is going to come by so quick. Like the draft is going to be here sooner than you know it. And free agency is going to be sooner than you know it. And then we're going to be in the off season and nothing's going to happen. We're going to be like, oh man, wish there was still, hockey related stuff happening. Wish there was still hockey on. And like obviously the first couple of years, sorry.
Everyone will be at their cottage in a month.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the first couple of years, Kyle Davidson has been just spending stripping down the studs, and again, I've said so many times that's the easy part, and it's basically scaling a mountain at this point. Like it's easy to do, the first little bit of it, and then as more and more you go up, the harder it is to do. Like now, I think the next step, maybe not necessarily taking going to a playoff team, like a wild card team, but getting to a level where you get 30 wins or whatever. Then after that, maybe that's when you have the discussion of, okay, maybe we can sneak into a wild card spot and then, be a regular playoff team and then go from that to being a Stanley Cup contender year in, year out, like winning maybe a couple playoff rounds and then obviously winning the Stanley Cup. It's like the old black, like when they drafted Taves and Kane, like that was right at the end when they started having guys like Keith Seabrook, even like Jalmerson coming up. It was like the cherry on top to what was already very good drafting, and that's how they were able to take advantage of Taves and Kane being on their ELCs and winning a cup in the final year of that. You're not going to get that with this new iteration just because like Bedard is kind of like part of that is like at the beginning of the new wave that they've drafted of these players that you're not going to make the playoffs till his second contract, like his first contract after CLC is in. Like he's already going to be making, signing $100 million contract before this team probably sniffs the playoffs. But I mean, hopefully with the cap going up and Kyle Davidson so far showing that he's not going to give anyone else more than 2 years before Bedard's contract is up and seeing where everything is. Like you like the management so far, but again, this is the hard part. You got to make. I'm confident they'll make the right choice at number 2. Like there's multiple guys that could go.
You
Obviously,
really can't go wrong at 2, for
no,
being honest.
yeah,
Unless you go like way off the board. But like,
I don't think
it's
they
the
will.
4 names they mentioned, I'm cool with any of them. Honestly,
yeah,
I just want some more than the others.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's a thing of like, oh, it's a tier of like how excited you'll be for them. You can't really be, too angry with either of them. Totally agree. But I think after that, that's where it starts to be interesting. Like, are you gonna move up and get a forward? Maybe could a Cole Eiserman drop and you just get another like potential 30-40 goal scorer in your prospect pipeline. And I'm pretty sure he's like a late 2006 birthday, so like he still has a lot of runway for that. Do they maybe that's all nullified with the forward discuss. Like I still think they got to get forwards, but like if they go Demidov at number 2, it's not like, oh, we're gonna trade, for Mitch Marner now. It's probably like more like, okay, we'll still probably look at some guys at free agency like Patrick Kane, maybe Tavo. I don't think they're gonna go after someone like Reinhardt or Gensel, but kind of the second tier after that they will. But yeah, I'm not exactly sure what'll happen. I don't know who they're going to pick at number 2. I don't know what they're going to do with that 18th pick, but I think all in all, Kyle Davidson has show. Like I'm excited to see what's going to happen here, and same with that free agency.
Same here. That month can't come sooner. I'm ready to see just what this team does to build up at this point.
Because we've said it, like this team needs like a middle 6 center to help out with Bedard and Dickinson. I think you need a defensive partner for Kevin Korchinski, and then you probably need a goalie to go with Mrazek. Maybe I was thinking like Laurent Brossoit. I think Brossoit is maybe a little too good, but maybe someone like a step below that, like kind of like an Alex Stalock.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, I'd love like a Stolars or something, but I just don't know how much that's going to cost you. But you need to get another goalie in there because you can't ride with Mrazek and Soderblom again. And it's not even, and like part of it is because of Soderblom's performance, but it's also like you got to push him to get better. And there's no way you can push him to get better if he's comfortable. Like I think we heard Ben Pope say this a couple weeks ago. Like that's the position the Hawks want to be in. They don't want to be in a position where like, oh yeah, you're going to get top 6 minutes just because
we suck. Yeah.
Like no, like you're gonna have to earn these now, and hopefully they make the steps going forward to implement those tactics.
Yeah, and I think the big problem I have with last year's team is that, and again, it's a long season, so much can change, but I just felt like especially in November, December, it felt like that team was so complacent. Like they shouldn't be playing like these guys like have like I'm tripping over my words right now. It's too much talking, but like these guys were like way too complacent for a team that sucks that bad is what I'm trying to say.
100%.
Anyways, yeah, kind of going back to the Patrick Kane thing to kind of I guess put a bow on that is what I wanted to add. Like he comes back to Chicago on Kyle Davidson's term, not like Kyle Davidson going back to Patrick Kane. Like if there's like interest, like I don't know, Kyle Davidson calls up Pat Brisson and says Patrick Kane wants to come back. It's like okay, I'm signing you to a 1-year contract. We're doing what the Bruins did with Patrice Bergeron and San Jose with like Joe Thornton and Patrick Marleau. You know, we're not signing you long term. We're not signing you 5 years so you could be here till you're 40. Like we'll take it year by year and see how it goes. And if Patrick Kane wants to do that, then you know, bring him aboard. Because yeah, he did have the surgery, but I just think the way Patrick Kane has played his entire career, it lends himself to you know potentially playing till 40 and then breaking maybe potential point records within the Blackhawks organization. That's what I think about that. I I don't think they do at the end of the day sign Patrick Kane, but I mean, it's definitely not a zero chance. Like it's definitely a thing. We always talk about it. Like Patrick or Scott Powers and I think Mark Lazarus brought it up. Like they wouldn't bring that up just for this for the sake of bringing it up. Like there's definitely something there, and I'm pretty sure Scott Powers said like within the organization they would like to bring him back. So guess we'll see.
We'll just see how much control Davidson has, because
Mhm.
Patrick Kane's back. That leads me to believe he doesn't have as long of a leash as some people think he does. That's what I'll leave it on.
Yeah. Anyways, you want to get to the mock draft now. We're gonna just go up to the Blackhawks 18th pick.
Yeah, I got mine pulled up. Let's rock.
Okay. So are we like doing like okay, I do one team, you do the next, or how are we doing this?
Yeah, we can do that. I did a full mock for 18, and I'll just like fluctuate depending. So do you want the Hawks pick?
Okay. Yeah, because I'm going in kind of cold right now. Like I've done research on the prospects, but I don't. Let's start this. So, do you want to go first, or do you?
Oh, right. I guess we'll start with number 1 because it's just so up in the air.
Oh, gee.
Yeah. Obviously, I got Celebrini going to the Sharks. I think that's a no-brainer. I think we all kind of figured he was going to the Sharks, and they kept pushing he played for the junior Sharks when he was younger.
His dad was with the Golden State Warriors.
Exactly. Like, this is a perfect fit for San Jose.
But no one talks about how he was a Chicago Steel. But okay. Liberal media doesn't want you to know that.
Man. No one talks about the important things. But yeah, this is a franchise cornerstone.
What else are they hiding from us now? Let's go.
Yeah, right. He's developed at a level that even I didn't think he was going to develop at. Like I remember talking to you about him 2 years ago, and I was just like, dude, this kid's celebrating at the Steel. He's a fucking dog. Like I at the time, it was like this is the crazy thing about prospects. Because 2 years ago, Aaron Kiviharju was going to be the number 1 pick. This guy's probably not even going to crack top 20 now. Like
he might even go in the first round.
This is just how development goes. But like Celebrini's gotten better every year. There's not a doubt in my mind now this guy's the number 1 center from what we've heard from people. It's a perfect fit. It really just comes down to are they going to put Smith and Celebrini on separate lines, or do you think they're going to put them together? That's, I think, it really is going to come down to at the end of the day. But yeah, Celebrini number 1. I think that's a no-brainer.
Yeah, I've heard like Sidney Crosby comps, just the way he's like so competitive. Same with Jonathan Toews, and when you're getting compared to guys that won multiple Stanley Cups and Olympic gold medals, he might not be that bad of a player. And also, I'm pretty sure he's like a late 2006 birthday, so like he's very young for I think he's July or August 2006. How about that? 2006.
Thanks for making me feel old. All right, awesome.
Just like our hair just starts turning gray all of a sudden.
Literally, bro. It's like the
number 2. For number 2, how about like we go with who we think they should. How do we want to do this? So do I want to go like who we think they should pick, or if like thinking what like based off past history what we think the GM was going to go with? Like if
it's your pick, man, go with it. I know who I had at it, so I'll let you know after you pick.
You know what? I think they go Demidov.
I had the same thing. There we go.
It's just again like there's tiers to it. Like Demidov is my number 1 guy. Like Lev Shunov and Lindstrom are kind of the same with me. And we're like, okay, let's go. Yeah, we got him. And then Silyev, I'm like,
interesting.
All right, interesting. Yeah. But I think Kyle Davidson knows like you need I mean, you can't really go for need in the draft. Like you're just drafting the best player, and that's Demidov. Like he has the highest ceiling. Like could be a potential elite winger. I mean, when you're getting compared like the same skill level as Matvey Michkov, you gotta take him at number 2. And I think the Russian factor does get overblown with him. Like his agent is Dan Milstein. Like he always gets his guys to come over to North America. He's gonna want him to get the bag, and what way to do that to play with Chicago in Chicago with Connor Bedard. So yeah, Ivan Davidov at number 2. Again, we're going to talk about this for months on end. Like Artem Levshunov will be perfectly fine, but then there's the thing of, well, you got to go get another, elite winger, whether that's through trade with the 18th pick, or moving up and getting a more high end forward, or you're getting a big name in free agency. Kane Lindstrom would really help round out that center core. I mean, if you can go Bedard, Lindstrom, and more, or maybe even shift one of those to the wing, that's fine. And like Anton Silyev, there's the Tantalite, like maybe he's not Victor Hedman level, but if he's Alex Vlasic with a bit more offense, like that they would love that, obviously. So, but no, at the end of the day, Ivan Davidov, like it's so hard to be like, oh, he's gonna be Nikita Kucherov, but I mean, if Bedard and Bedard and Demonov can be like Point and Kucherov, I mean, you're laughing to the bank, and so are they.
100%. And that's who I had as well. I think you can't pass up on the chance to get the Malkin to Bedard's Crosby. I think I've said that multiple times. I think there's not a forward in this draft that has that amount of skill besides Celebrini.
Yeah.
Really.
You could even argue maybe not like the better all-around player, but like if you're gonna pick a guy to win an Art Ross out of this class, or like have the highest offensive output, it's probably Ivan Davidov. It could be like if he hits a ceiling, I should say.
Agreed.
All right, Anaheim at number 3. Who you got what for them?
Yeah, so third overall, obviously, I think I got Levshunov. Hold on a second.
I do think that who the Blackhawks go at number 2, they'll probably pick at number 3. So if the Blackhawks did go Demidov, I think the Ducks do go Levshunov, and other way around. If Blackhawks go Levshunov, I think they go Demidov. But then Anaheim can do whatever the hell they want because their prospect pool is so good. I think they would like Levshunov, another right-handed defenseman, to replace Jamie Drysdale, who they traded. But yeah, I totally agree with that with Levshunov.
Yeah, can you hear?
Then there's also
in the background.
No, I didn't.
Good. So these fuckers are moving while I'm doing this shit. So
I can't hear anything at all. So you're
good. All right. Anyways, Levshunov, I think is a no-brainer. They have a lot of defensemen on the left side. Zellweger,
Mintyukov,
for starters, Mintyukov, like even Vakanainen, who has been pretty solid in the third pair. Like Levshunov just makes sense, I think, at the end of the day. And one of those guys can play right side as a lefty, and
you'll make it work.
Still got Fowler there. I think Levshunov's defensive style is going to benefit from the amount of offensive defensemen that Anaheim has, because I think putting him with the Zellweger is going to allow Zellweger to get better as an offensive defenseman. So, I really think whoever doesn't go 2 is going 3. That's kind of how it's going to go between Demidov and Levshunov.
Yeah. But really, for the past 20 years, the Ducks have been just so good at drafting and developing defensemen. I love like you already see with Mintyukov and Zellweger how well they've been, and adding Levshunov to that. There's also the thought of like they don't need him, but Caden Lindstrom would be kind of a perfect Duck with how you see their center core going right now, like with how they have Mason McTavish, Leo Carlson, and Cutter Gauthier. Just add Caden Lindstrom in there. Just have all big guys.
Yeah, obviously they couldn't go wrong adding another forward. I just think you get to a certain point with your forward core where like you only have so many high-end forwards, and I think Lindstrom will benefit from being on a team where he's going to get solidified top 6 minutes, and I don't think he'd be guaranteed that as a center on Anaheim.
In Anaheim, yeah, I totally agree. I feel that Anaheim is in a position where they can be a little more positional needy. Like they don't have to be like, oh, let's just get best player available. Like I do think Lev Shunov is probably the best player available at this spot, and he also happens to be right-handed defenseman, which Anaheim needs. So that works out on both ends.
Exactly. Like I think it'd be a win-win.
Number 4, the Columbus Blue Jackets. Speaking of a team that might be able to give Kane Lindstrom top 6 minutes, I think that's what they do at number 4.
That's what I had as well.
Actually, I don't think that's what they do. I think they're going to go off the board and do some crazy shit. But if I were Columbus, if I were Don Waddell now, that's what I would do.
Yeah.
I mean, Fantilli, Lindstrom, 1-2 punch at center. They have a pretty good defensive core. You allows guys like Kent Johnson and Cole Sillinger to shift to the wing now. Maybe not so much, burden of them having to be center. I think that's a good pick for Columbus.
Yeah, that's what I had too. I really think that you move Ken Johnson to the wing benefits everyone. I think Salayev could be an off the board pick, just so you get a partner for Juracek, but like also.
Columbus likes taking Russians. Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It really comes down to what this new GM thinks in Don Waddell, who we'll get into later. But if I'm going off of just like what he's been looking for in Carolina and what he always wants, I would think a 6'4" center is something that would be right up his alley, that can skate and can shoot and can score and can basically do everything under the sun. So, like I said, I'd love him at 2. I just don't think Davidson's got the balls to take him at 2. So Columbus just loves taking the guy I love in the draft. Last year was Fantilli. This year it's going to be freaking Lindstrom. Oh, it's all right. They're going to be mid anyways. But yeah. So at number 5,
Montreal Canadien,
always a wild card, and I'm glad we set up the draft to where they don't get one of Demidov or Lindstrom because it's not happening. I think they do go Salayev though. I think.
Ooh, Salayev, however the hell you say it, with Reinbacher, that would be nasty.
You just get a big left-handed defenseman, and you have him and Caden Gooley on your left side going forward. I think that's
this guy named Lane Hudson.
Yeah, like you think your left side wouldn't be a little set after that? Like, oh my gosh. You got Hudson on the top pair, Salayev on the second pair, and Gooley on the third pair. Good luck with that. And I just don't think they're in a position like this is the problem. Once you get past Lindstrom, I don't think there's a forward worth taking in the top 10 besides Iginla. So like you really got to either love someone at forward or just take the best defenseman available. And at this point, it depends on what you want in a defenseman, because the guy I have going 7th or 6th is probably the guy that should go top 5. But just by the way Montreal drafts, they want guys who are defensively sound and can skate. I think Salayev makes a lot of sense for them.
I wonder if Montreal is the first team that could seriously look at drafting a guy like TJ Ginla. That just feels like a guy that could go very
Columbus
high on
loves him,
day.
apparently.
I don't know if they pick him at 4, but for me, it's like Montreal. I could very much see them picking TJ Ginla at number 5.
Agreed.
Number 6, the Utah Hockey Club. I think this is going to be the run on defenseman now. They could go with a lot of guys, but I don't know if this is necessarily making a splash, but I think they go with Zane Parik. Right-hand shot defenseman. I think he was CHL Defenseman of the Year, put up an absurd amount of points. I think that's their first pick in Utah.
100%. And they have 0 tie-in defensemen in their system. So it really doesn't matter.
You're right. Semashev sucks.
I didn't stutter, so but I don't know. I think Parik's offensive upside is going to benefit what the Utah Hockey Club's going to end up wanting to do. And if I have to look at what this owner's done in the past, he's going to want to go for a splashy pick, and I think Parik is exactly that.
Okay. Yeah, like they got Logan. You got Logan Cooley as your share. They have some established guys on that team already with Clayton Keller and your boy Biggie Schmaltz, like Connor Geeky. They've drafted. I don't know if he's gonna be a number 2, but certainly like a number 3, middle 6 kind of guy. They need defensemen. Like they have Simashev. They do have Lamoureux, but that's about it. I think Zane Parik. They got 2 big defensemen now. Get your offensive right-handed shot defenseman, Zane Parik.
Yeah, agreed, 100%. And that's exactly mindset I had when I did this mock draft. And 7, I think, is where it gets interesting because, like,
I mean, for one thing, they could potentially trade this again.
yeah, they could. I really don't know what they would want at this spot with what's available.
Mitch Marner, let's go. Mitch Marner for
7th
Brady
overall
Tkachuk.
and Jake Sanderson. Get excited. But I don't know. I guess I'll just go like I don't even know if this is off the board, but like I do think they'll end up going defenseman here. Get another defenseman to go with, Shabbat and Sanderson and all them. But I think it's Zeke Boyum. No, Dick and your son.
Boyum too.
Yeah, I think Boyum's got a little more upside. He's going to have a little more flash, which I think is something that this new owner is going to want with his team. Just for reference, I have Dickinson going to Seattle with the next pick, so like that's kind of where my brain's been at. But I think those two are a toss up. Like it really just comes down to who Ottawa's comfortable with, and I just look at Dickinson's play style, and I think with what Sanderson's developing as, you don't need two of them. I mean, obviously two of them's great, but like I don't know. I think Boyum's upside is something that defense core could very much need going forward.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see most of like the high end defensemen go. I'd be surprised if like a TJ Ginla was there or goes in the top. No, I could see him going in there, but we're gonna see no more defensemen picked in the top 10 than Forge is what I'm trying to say, I guess. But
thanks.
Montreal at number 5, I could see them going TJ Ginla, and same with Ottawa. I could see them going TJ Ginla at number 7. But yeah, I like that pick, Z Boyum. Number 8, I pretty much agree with you. I think they would go Sam Dickinson. Like they've done a very good job of drafting in Seattle. Like whenever we're on the draft, like we've been at the draft the past couple of years, whenever it's like in the second round, it's like rapid fire, and Seattle has like 4 second round picks. You're like, oh, good pick. Oh, he went to Seattle. Like they've done a good job of that. They've gotten Matty Beniers and Shane Wright as your 1-2 punch at center, though. I don't know how well Shane Wright's going to be now, but yeah, I think they go defenseman Sam Dickinson. Yeah, that's a good pick.
Yeah,
I agree.
They need a defenseman like that in their system, and the high end talent I think is going to benefit them. And now I'm going to go for the nepotism pick. So TJ Ginla is going to be a Calgary Flame, 100%.
It makes too much sense. Not even like. Not just that, but like he's a legitimately good player who is deserving of potentially going in the top 10.
Dog, if the Hawks go Lev Shunoff, they should trade up for Tej. I'm so serious.
100%. Mitch Brown calling him Brandon Hagel. Yeah, sign me the fuck up.
Thank you. Yes, please. Sign me a F up. Thank you. Yeah, hell of a hockey player. I think his two-way game, his tenacity are two things that are going to stick out that might make him go higher than 9, but just for the sake of this draft, I want him in there because that's fun.
Yep, I agree. New Jersey Devils now. Yeah, we're kind of getting to
this is where we're gonna start spreading apart, I think.
I honestly have no idea where we want to go, but I'm thinking of who could the Blackhawks trade up from 18 to 10. I wonder if the Devils would do that, would trade up. I'm just looking at the teams that are kind of like between 10 and 15. Buffalo's 11. I could see Buffalo maybe moving back. I don't know. I guess I could see all the teams there moving back and potentially making a trade at the Blackhawks. But
every team except Minnesota, because why would they trade in division?
Yeah, and St. Louis.
But I'm actually genuinely curious because I think after 10, it's up to the opinion of the person mocking it. So like, who do you have going for New Jersey? I'm curious.
I gotta be honest. I don't know. I gotta pull up a list. I'm like, there's names in my head, but I'm like, am I missing someone here?
I can go through my mock draft if you like.
Okay, you do that. You pull yours up.
Well, like I think at 10th overall, we look at what New Jersey's done in the past, right? New Jersey's a team that always likes to draft for upside. Like we look at like the Alexander Holtz pick a couple years ago. That was an upside pick. You got to look at Simon Nemec. Like I mean, obviously I think you and I were both in the group of like, oh, Logan Cooley would be cool in this team, but like Nemec did make sense down the line. Now that because like at one point I was like, they have Severson, Marino, and Hamilton. How is this dude going to crack the lineup? They got rid of Severson. Makes a lot more
easy
sense.
By playing well and being better than them. Yeah,
exactly, 100%. But I think they go with the upside again, and like this forward core is only going to get more expensive over the years. So like, why not go at a Cole Eiserman and just have another potential 30 goal scorer in the mix?
I like that.
Yeah, I think
I think
Sorry.
Sorry, you go.
No, I was just gonna say, like, I just think New Jersey's one to swing for upside, and why not swing for
Mhm.
the guy who at one point was considered second best in the draft? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, like that was the name of my mind. I'm just like, there's other guys in there too. I want you to think, and I need to like pull up a list of like some of the guys because I'm just like, my mind's drawing a blank here. But
Do you want me to
yeah,
go through
no,
my
I
mock
do
draft
agree with
briefly?
that. Cole Iserman, 10 to the Devils. Him and Jack Hughes. Yeah.
Of course. So I'll just go through like the pick I've had for each one, and then you can kind of
Mhm.
gauge what you would do from there. Because I
Yeah.
know
That. Oh yeah,
you're
that works for me. Yeah.
so pick 11. I've switched a couple times because like Buffalo's a team where like they always get the best player. Like they got Zach Benson last year.
For
Like,
me
come
at
on,
this point, I think it's I think they just go another forward, Berkeley Catton. Like you
dude.
got Bone Byram.
I went Branson Nygaard. I think they go crazy with that one. Like they're gonna pick the
I
player.
like
everyone.
that. Yeah.
But I could see Catton too. Like because Catton gives you the flexibility to put him at center or wing, and then you can move Benson to the wing potentially. You can move Cousins to the wing. You can move Tage to the wing for fuck's sake. Like you could do, gives you so many options. So I agree with that. Like Catton would be nasty at that pick, I think too. Catton's one where like I just want to know where his stock is with other NHL teams because like I'm gonna be honest, I could see him going as high as 5 at Montreal. It really just depends on what the team thinks of him. But like yeah, I have Catton going 12 to the Flyers in my mock. I just think
Oh, that's a good pick.
that'd be someone that would be perfect for Danny Briere in his system. Like the amount of like with the type of forwards they have in that system, like you put Catton with Konechny in a couple years, like that's gonna be a blast. Holy smokes! And if Catton could just like work on his skating just a tad, like we're gonna be in the gold with him. Like it's, I'm not gonna say it's like Alex Turcotte, but if he can master the things that Turcotte couldn't, could lead to some good development. And then 13, Minnesota. Sorry, I'm like trying not to burp. Minnesota, Minnesota is one of those teams where they always kind of just pick the player that like it's like, oh, of course they picked them. You know what I mean? And it's usually a pretty decently high upside player. Like we look at Walston a couple years ago. I know his talent is, I know his stock isn't as high as it was when he got drafted, but Carson Lambos did have stock for a long time, and it was like, of course Minnesota takes him. But I look at, I don't even know if I'm saying his name right. Constant.
I think they go Yakimchuk.
See,
I can see them going Yakimchuk.
I don't want him to go to Yakimchuk. That's why I didn't put him in my box there. But I could see it too, 100%. I just think maybe get another forward in that system because, like, if there's anything we saw with the Wild, it's not their defense. It's this, they can't score.
They need centers, really, because
Yes.
you got Boldy and Kaprizov on the way. You need centers.
If Catton can fall to 13, that'd be probably their dream, honestly.
I mean, it'd be great for them. I would hate it as a Hawks fan.
Dude, literally. But 14, that's where I put Yakimchuk. I think if you could have Celebrity and Yakimchuk, that's a pretty freaking good draft for the Sharks right there. But Yakimchuk's stock has gone up a crap ton. Like I think I talked to you about it earlier this year. I thought he was going to be the Korchinski of this draft because it's just like WHL defenseman that can skate, right-handed shot, 6'2", could do everything the right way. You could develop him defensively the right way. Like that's exactly what San Jose needs right now defensively, straight up. And I think
is 6'3" from Western Canada. Check.
Yep, checks all the boxes for GMs to love him. And I think the upside's there. So if San Jose could get him at 14, that'd be a dream. But like you said, he might not even make it to 14 with the way his stock's going.
I think he goes potentially in the top 10 just because of those three things I listed. And like looking at like players that could potentially rise up, like Berkeley Catton might be the most interesting one because like he is a center. There's not a lot of good centers outside of obviously Celebrini and Lindstrom. Like there's decent like middle six guys, but a guy to potentially be, you know, like at least a second line center or potentially more than that, it's maybe Berkeley Catton. So I could see him going like maybe if like what you said, maybe 5 to Montreal, but then I could see him slipping outside of the top 10, potentially beyond, like maybe not beyond like to 15, but yeah, like early teens to mid-teens potentially.
Facts. And it really just comes down to what the GM looks at. Because like let's be honest, we didn't think Kevin Korchinski was going to go 7th overall. And Kyle Davidson clearly saw something in him. And this kid was the youngest defenseman in the NHL last year. Had his ups and downs, but when he had his ups, you could see the promise. So,
what was it that Mitch Brown said when we were talking about him? He was like, "How was Korchinski this year?" We're like, not great, but like you saw like the glimpses of promise, and he was like, "Well, was he doing the things that like made him a special player in juniors?" And we're like, "Yes," and he's like,
100%.
"Well, that's a good thing because players that like revert like." Especially defensemen that play, this high octane offensive game in their junior leagues, but then once they're in the NHL, kind of give up on that and try just solely to focus play on defense. Like that can kind of ruin their confidence. So that's what gives me hope, like big hope with Korchinski. Also, that used to have Vlasic there. So
yeah, honestly,
enough about that side note.
Yeah. But
I don't even know how we got to Korchinski, but yeah.
because Yakimchuk is the Korchinski comp.
Oh yeah.
In terms of just the upward trajectory. But Detroit is a fun one because I really think at one point I did have him taking Branson Nygaard, but I think
that is a Steve Yzerman player molded in a lab.
I just don't think he gets to 15, unfortunately, the more I thought about it. So I'm gonna have him taking Bennett Seneke, who's another player who I think fits the Steve Yzerman mold.
He's really risen up. Like I didn't really hear much about him, but yeah. I mean, 6'2" guy, like I'm pretty sure like as the year went on, like he got really like what's the scouting report on him?
Yeah, like Bennett Seneke, from what I've heard, is just like he was a late bloomer in the season. Like I have seen mock drafts where he goes as high as 5, which I think is crazy personally.
I did see a couple of tweets of like Montreal beat writers saying that they really like Bennett Seneke at like number 5.
For sure, yeah, and I could see why you fall in love with the kid. I mean, he's a big kid. Point a game his draft year, which is always nice. But the thing you look at it with him is that you hope his size and his tenacity and the way he works on the walls and the way he works in the net front is going to translate to the NHL level. And what better team to do that than Detroit? Because like you put someone like him with a Dylan Larkin or a Marco Casper or someone like that, like that might just or Lucas Raymond, for God's sake. Like Nate you're telling me if you have Seneke fetching pucks for Raymond, that's not a good thing. Like, come on, man. And like, I don't know. Detroit's in one of those positions where they really can just take whatever they want. They're in a position where they're pretty flexible with their prospect pool. They're
pretty well stocked everywhere.
And what it doesn't hurt to add another forward like that. You know what I mean? Whether he plays center or wing, I think he's going to be a winger at the NHL level, but we'll see. Yeah, I think that would be a great pick. You got Danielson in the pool last year, along with Axel Sandin Pellikka.
Oh my God!
Edmonton, I think, made strides this year. Like Detroit's in a good spot, and Seneke, I think, is just adding to that pool. And for St. Louis loves to pick the player that, like, they just love picking a player that you look and you're just like, yeah, he's probably going to be an NHL player and probably be pretty good. Like Dalibor Dvorsky last year was exactly that. And that's exactly what St. Louis targeted. Theo Lindstein's another one like that. And I think Trevor Connolly fits that bill perfectly. This is a guy that could play center or wing. He was great at, I think it was Tri-City last year in the USHL. But I think he's going to. Let me look up Trevor Connolly. I forget what school he's going to next year, but this is a guy that I think could be in the NHL as soon as next year if he develops properly. 6'1", he's got the skill, he's got the skating. This is right around where his he might get drafted a little higher according to some prospects, but like he's going to Providence next year. He's going to get every top chance. Like look at a guy like Matthew Wood. Right? Matthew Wood went to UConn for his college years, or for his first year in college, led the team in scoring as a freshman. This is something that I could see Trevor Connolly doing at Providence. Like, this is someone that's going to probably put up 35 points in his freshman year in college. And then if you like what you see, why not sign him on? St. Louis is going to be in a transitional position anyway. I don't know. I think Trevor Connolly does make a lot of sense for them. And then do you have any thoughts on any of those? I don't mean to keep talking, but
I don't want to like bring the mood, but I do remember reading something about I don't know if you read it, but like Trevor Connolly and like how he was like he's kind of had a bit of a checkered past. Like I completely forget what it was, and I'm not trying to be like, oh, you're fucking stupid, because like he is. From what I've heard, he's a very skilled player, but kind of a problem off the ice. But from what I heard, like the last year, he's made strides. But I don't know. I haven't. I remember reading an article a few months back about it, so I don't want to say something that isn't true about it. But yeah, that's all I really had to say about that.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to like bring. Yeah.
No, and that's very valid to
Yeah.
bring up because like what's one thing
Yeah.
that always drops people in drafts? Character concerns. And if
Mhm.
you can show the signs of the maturity, like I think a team like St. Louis would be willing to take a chance on that. You know what I mean? Because they have the depth, they already have the veteran leadership. Whether it's good leadership, it's up to you to decide. But I don't know. I think that could be a good system for him to go into. Washington, I think, is interesting because I think the obvious situation is like you get another forward because this team needs more forwards. But I don't know, man. Adam Yurichek's on the board there at 17. I think you got to take him.
Yeah.
Even with the injury, I think he's got top 4 upside, and you can't say that about any defenseman in their prospect pool right now. So who's to say you don't go against that? And that's nothing against the guys on the roster. Don't get it wrong. But it's just like I'll be blunt. Let's go look at their cap friendly right now. Let's go look at Washington's defenseman. Because
especially on the right side, because I think on their left side they have Faravari, who is okay. They have Sandy. They like Yurichek would complement them quite nicely.
100%. And like so their right side right now is John Carlson, Nick Jensen, Trevor Van Riemsdyk. All of them are 34, 33, 32. Also, Trevor Van Riemsdyk's 32. Feel old yet? And he's signed for 2 more years. Holy smokes. But like their defensive prospect pool, it's like Alex Alexiev, and that's about it. So they need a defenseman in that pool. Might as well take the best one available.
Is Lucas Johansson still with that team?
Yeah, he's 25. He played games this year.
Oh my god.
No, sorry, he's 26 and he's in the minors. So awesome. But what better reason to take one of the higher end defensemen? And I think that's one of the last ones, which leads us to our last pick, because if we go all the way back to pick 2, we have the Hawks taking Demidov. So I think in this situation, you have to go D with the next pick. And I mean, I feel like Hawks Nation's been talking about him for the whole year, even if it's at it started at pick 34, wherever you wanted him. But I think his stock's gone up to where he might go at 18. I think EJ Emery fits what this team wants defensively so well. Like, you want to talk about someone who could be that stay-at-home guy for Korchinski down the line? EJ Emery's exactly that. And he's going to go to college.
6'3", check. Right-handed shot, check.
Check.
For what I've heard, great skater.
That's all you need. And he's shut down defenseman. He's going to play those big minutes in college. You give him 2 years of university, and I think that's a guy who's on your team come playoff time in 2027 or whenever year the Hawks make the playoffs. You know what I mean? I think EJ Emery and the Hawks make almost too much sense, to the point to where I hope they don't overpick him. But with the way this draft would go with defensemen, I think you kind of have to. So.
You don't trade up to pick him, but if he's there at 18,
if he's there at 18, take him 100%.
And obviously, you've already taken a forward. Yeah.
But if you already taken a defenseman, this pick probably changes. I know I've said it multiple times. I really like Ryder Ritchie. I think he would be someone that Kyle Davidson's just going to love his play style. Maxime Massey's another guy who's got some size, but his stock's kind of dropped a little bit. I don't know if they're going to pick him there, but I'm just trying to give a couple names for forwards, obviously. Because
what do you think about Konsta Helenius? I know he had a very productive year.
I had him going in Minnesota.
You did? Okay.
13th overall.
Oh, okay. Never mind then. Because I'm like, if they
Liam Greentree's another guy I think that can make a lot of sense. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was gonna say, like, because if they go Lev Shunov at number 2, like, I don't know if Helenius is a guy that, but like, let's say worst case scenario, they don't move 18, like they don't move 18 for 4, and if Helenius is still there, I pick him obviously.
Oh, 100%. Like if he somehow dropped to 18, take him in a heartbeat. I think I think Andrew Basha is someone that would make a lot of sense for the Hawks. I just don't know where his stock is with NHL teams. Like, this is a guy that could go 18, but it could maybe be there at 34. I think this is where we get to the point of the draft where it comes down to what the GM thinks of the player. because we've seen it every year. What was it last year? Andrew Kristoff dropped to what,
Yeah.
38 or something? Like,
Mhm.
it happens every year. There's going to be a guy that drops. And if that happens, I think the Hawks got to capitalize on that. But
It's also
yeah.
the thing of on draft day where it's like you might be the second best player on the team's list, but if there's a player in front of them that a GM likes, they're gonna take that, and that could go on for like 20 picks potentially.
100%.
And you could just
That's
keep
why-
dropping and dropping.
And that's why it benefits the Hawks to be in the position they're in. They have some spots in each one. It just, the Hawks are going to be in a position where their draft's going to be dictated by what they do at second. Straight up.
Yeah.
At
Mhm.
least in the first 2 rounds.
Yeah. Yeah, some of the names I've seen linked to the Blackhawks, like I think I was reading the mock draft that like Corey Prominent, Scott Wheeler did, and I think Corey Prominence picked Igor. I think it's Igor Chernyshov a couple times because he's a pretty like a big guy, skates pretty well and has that compete level, and the Blackhawks are in need of bigger wingers, so that could be a potential fit there. I saw, I think from a Montreal beat writer when they did trade up for number 18, that Sasha Boisfort. I don't know how you say his name. I think he played for Muskegon. He's a 6'2" centerman. Like Kyle Davidson obviously wants bigger forwards, bigger centermen. Like I don't know if from what I saw, I don't think he has the high upside, but maybe a middle six center penalty killing kind of guy. And I would assume he's a good skater. Some other names. Another one is Michael Haig, who plays for the Chicago Steel. So they probably got a lot of good viewings on him. Really like rose up this year, had some good production as a speedy center from what I saw. So I think those are some names to kind of keep an eye out on if they, pick Lev Shunov, or they could even go Demidov and then go another forward at 18. I'd be perfectly fine with that. If they don't trade, I should say.
Michael Hage is the guy I'd love to see them pick at pick 34. Also, I just saw a Jonathan Taves masterclass from like 2008 on my timeline. That just fucking like ratatouille me, man. Holy smokes. I'm sorry, dude. I don't mean to change the topic. And like, I know everyone's got their opinions on the Hawks right now, but like, someone just said what I have said about Taves, and you and I have said about Taves for a decade, and they're an Avs fan. So like, they're just like, I will never let history rewrite this man. It's just Taves walking Nick Lidstrom. Like, holy shit, holy shit. Oh my god.
You know what? My favorite. Have you ever seen the clip of Pavel Datsyuk and Marian Hossa like just stripping the puck off each other and chasing each other like back and forth?
Literally,
Yeah.
that whole fucking board battle. Holy shit. I forget what year it was though.
I think it was 2013 or 2014, maybe 2015. Oh, from one of those years, I think.
Oh my god! But
those are two of the most like universally respected play. Like I've never heard a bad thing about Pavel Datsyuk. I've never heard a bad thing about Marian Hossa.
I love Hossa, man. I love that I have a Hossa jersey.
Don't you have a Stanley Cup Final Hossa jersey?
Dude, I do, and it's fucking awesome. I got a 2015 Hossa Cup Final jersey.
That's so awesome.
I want to get it signed one day. That would be a lot of fun. But
that'd be good with the sauce, honestly.
Dude, for sure. And like, I'm sorry, but like, I just think in my head, dude. Like, I don't mean to bring it back to pick 2 because like it's gonna be like that till they pick. But it's just like, dude, every fucking time I watch what the Hawks did in the 2010s, I just think, do you think the management? Well, I can't even say this because the management group did think this. They took Cam Barker 3rd overall. If you ever want a more example, just take the effing forward. That's the example. But obviously that was fucking 20 years ago. You can't judge that. I'm just saying, like,
oh no, then we got Nick Jomerson in like the 7th round. Oh no,
your best defenseman was a 2nd round pick. Like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, people forget that Duncan Keith was like, I think in his
late second
year of draft eligibility. He was like a 2nd round pick.
Yep.
And he took like 5 years to get to the NHL.
Yeah, because he wanted to go to Michigan State and then he went to Kelowna. It's like
the Kelowna Rockets.
Literally. Like I look at how that team was structured. Like they weren't built from the back end being picked high. They were built because their 2 best fucking players were picked 1st and 3rd overall. Like,
well, even Seabrook was a first, but Seabrook wasn't like a top 5.
Seabrook was
Can't miss
13th.
prospect. Like, yeah.
Granted, that draft's fucking nuts. They drafted him. Crawford.
I
and
looked at the
Buffalo.
2003 draft. Like, holy shit.
It's that in 2015 are some of the best drafts.
You know what? I don't know if you're on a time crunch to watch the game, but I want to go
I'm
through
not
the
on a time
2003
crunch,
draft.
dude. This is the first day I've had off before 9:30 in like 5 days. I'm chilling.
You want to go through the 2003 draft?
Dude, hell yes, I do. Because guess what? People in the 2003 drafts are in the freaking conference finals still. Corey Perry's chilling right now. Like,
Yeah, Joe Pavelski. Like, to put him like this is how long
All-time
ago the
draft.
people that are getting drafted this year were born 2-3 years after this happened.
Good Lord. Let's read this draft off. Oh my gosh.
Literally, we're gonna be like at the you haven't seen it, so I can't spoil it. So number 1, still playing in the NHL. Marc-Andre Fleury went first overall. Number 2, Eric Stahl went to the Carolina. Is Eric Stahl still playing?
Probably in like Iowa or some shit. I don't know. But like Eric Stahl is probably not going to make the Hall of Fame, but he's at the top of the Hall very good. We'll put it that
Yeah.
way.
Mhm.
He's not a shit player. He's not a bust. That's for fucking sure.
No.
Didn't this guy win? He didn't win a Hart, but it's been over 100 points before in his career, I'm pretty sure.
Eric Stahl had 100 points the year the Hurricanes won the Cups. He had 45 goals, 55 assists, and then to top it all off, 28 points in 25 playoff games.
Dude, I don't think he gets enough credit for that Carolina Cup win, honestly. Maybe from like Carolina fans they do, but like every time I hear people talk about the Carolina Cup, they're like, yeah, it's Brock Brindamore getting it done. Eric Stahl.
He probably was. And I hear a lot of Cam Ward too.
Eric Stahl
Sorry?
literally had his like 2010 Jonathan Taves run, and no one talks about it. It's kind of nuts.
And he was
Think about it.
consistently good, like 70 points, 82, 75, 40.
Yeah, but he was bad on the Rangers for 15 games, so he's trash.
70, 76, 70, 53 points in 48 games in the lockout shortened year, 61, 54. Yeah, that was kind of the year he dropped off, but then signs with Minnesota, 65 points. Next year, 76 points, 42 goals. Yeah, he was very good for a very. I forgot he played with the. I forgot he was on that Habs team that went to the Cup final in 2021. So 1,063 points in 1,365 games. Yeah, not a Hall of Famer, but Hall of very damn good. And
Very,
Olympic
very
gold medal.
good. And he's got a cup and a gold medal.
Yeah.
Which arguably is more than some Hall of Famers. So, like, maybe he does have a Hall of Fame argument now I'm thinking about it.
No, he wouldn't be in the triple gold club. He's not that good.
Yeah, he's not Patrick Sharp. Sorry, guys.
He's not Chris. Is Chris Kunitz in the triple gold club?
I don't even know. I just said Sharp's name because I know Sharp's got a gold medal. Seabrook might.
Sorry?
Is Seabrook triple gold?
Yep.
Fuck yeah. Get excited.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think all the Canadian Hawks players were triple gold.
Yeah. Patrick Kane could be triple gold if because like I'm not even trying to say it, but like he should make Team USA in 2026 if he keeps this up. But we'll see. Anyways, what are we on? Pick 3? Who's pick 3?
Yeah. How far do we want to go? Because there are so
well, no,
many
because
good
the
players.
first round's fucking disgusting if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they got
So
Jets
number
like
3, very like it's kind of sucks that his career got cut short. Nathan Horton went number 3.
Still a very good player, to say the least.
Yeah, like he hasn't played a game in a decade now. Like that sucks.
Yeah, but how does this affect the Leafs salary cap?
Yeah, drafted originally by the Panthers, had a 30-goal season in 06-07. Not as good as Danny Heatley, but not bad. What I remember him is his run in 2011 with the Bruins. It seems like he scored every clutch goal. 8 goals, 9 assists, 17 points, 21 games, and was even better when they made it back to the final in 2013. But that was really it from him, and that's kind of unfortunate.
Wait, Pierce, I'm sorry, I was in a coma. What happened in 2013 again?
The Bruins, held on to win Game 6. They won 2-1. Got really close there at the end. Tuukka Rask had to make this insane save off Brian Bickle and David Bull, and then they went back to Chicago and won Game 7. And then every Boston fan loves Tuukka Rask now.
Dog. Literally, like I just like I'll meet Boston people at my job, and I just remember that like I could talk shit to Boston fans whenever I like to. Oh, it's always fun.
That's
Oh,
even
it's
like
always
me with Tampa. Like I follow a few Tampa fans. Like if Mork says any shit, I'm like, yeah, we beat you in 2015. Shut up.
Dog, most fun senior year of high school ever was just being able to go to a school in Tampa and the Hawks just on the cup
Oh,
against them.
Lord.
Oh, big dick on
Like
campus.
I felt so cool being a Hawks fan when they beat the fucking Oilers. That's nothing. That's nothing compared to being a
Dude, it was great. I wore my Cup champ shirt first day of school. Like you already know.
Oh, I
dude.
would have been the most annoying piece of like if I were on
Oh, I
Twitter
was.
at that
I
time.
was. I used
would
to
have
wear
been.
my Keith jersey every game day. Dead ass. Like that was me. Like I had my red. I remember where I got the fucking jersey. Game 2 against Detroit in 2013 playoffs. Wore that jersey
Mhm.
every fucking game, dude. I was in fucking Disney World for a field trip, and I was watching Game 6 against Nashville. Like when I say
Jesus.
I have an
2015,
emotional
right?
bond to the 2015 Cup run, no one can take that from me. No one. Because that is the ultimate fuck you Cup run. They got predicted to lose in round 1. They got predicted to lose in round 2. They got predicted to lose in round 3. And they got predicted to lose in round 4. What the fuck does that tell any of those analysts that picked that shit? I don't know, man. Like that was the ultimate fuck you team, and I feel like there's been a couple of those in the last couple of years. I'm really hoping Edmonton's that one this year because, like, holy shit, dude! Like, Edmonton is having the fuck you run right now, straight up. It's like, oh,
Do we want to get into that? We don't want to talk about the 2003 class.
I kind of want to segue into the Oilers now. Sorry.
Let's do that. Yeah,
Sorry.
we have plenty. We have the whole summer
We
to
can
talk about.
we got the whole
2003
off
class.
season, dude.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
dude, I don't know, man. Like you heard me. I was a big Dallas Stars truther. Still am. Clearly, Stars
Even one
fans
of the
thinks I jinxed them.
questions is Zach. Yeah.
Whatever. Like if I jinxed them, they would have lost.
Maybe score a goal on Stuart Skinner.
Maybe Rope Hinch should get a shot on goal. I don't know, man. But
maybe the team should get shots on goal and like not.
Rope Hinch is gonna come out, then he's got like a broken sternum. Like, man, good shot at it. I'm gonna feel like an asshole. But like, dude, like Edmonton is literally on the fuck you right now. Think about
Do you
it.
want me to read some text we had a few nights ago?
Hell
So this
yeah.
was on Wednesday. The Oilers blew a 2-0 lead in Game 3, and the Stars just completely shut up that building. And then Game 4 starts. The Stars scoring the first shot on goal less than a minute in, and then off the face-off, like the media was on Darnell Nurse's ass, and then
Rightfully
a
so.
shot goes in off his ass, and then it's 2-0. You text me stinky oven goal. Right after I say the Oilers are cooked. It's kind of sad to watch. And then you also say Darnell Nurse is what the radical left thinks Seth Jones is, which is true.
I still stand by that 100%, but we're just
yeah. Like Seth Jones is at least like a top pairing defenseman, whereas Darnell Nurse has barely looked like a top 6 defenseman.
Darnell Nurse should be so grateful the season he got that extension. It was 50 games. Isn't
that
what you
2021
said?
shortened season. Yeah.
Oh man, but no, continue because like.
And then I said,
yeah.
And then I said the best thing that can happen for the Oilers is if they lose again is for Ken Holland to leave. And then they said fuck you and scored 8 straight goals in that series. And they are now 1 win away from the Stanley Cup final.
The Oilers, dude, like they have proven everything that I thought about them wrong, which I appreciate. Because like, what was the number one thing we've always said about the Oilers for at least 4 years now? It's always just McDavid and Draisaitl that show up. No one else does. What better way to shut that up than Ryan McLeod scoring in the game? Freaking Ryan Nugent-Hopkins backpacking on the power play in Game 5. And then, dude, Philip Broberg getting his first point. Like, they're getting
Dude, you got a shorthanded goal for Matthias Janmark on a pass from Connor.
Get excited, Oilers Nation! Matthias Janmark, revenge series. No
Could you
one's
imagine,
talking about it.
We got to go back in time until the 2021 PJs cast that. Matthias Janmark and Connor Brown.
Let's fucking go. Oh my god. But I don't know. It's like the Oilers are doing what the Hawks would do every time they won a cup. And I can't unsee it now. So I think the Oilers are going to win the cup. I might finally back off my Stars pick because, one, their penalty kill is fucking amazing.
Right? It is. They're like 44 for 47, I think.
Dude,
just saying that.
Go look at every Hawks team that won a cup. Their penalty kill was 90% in the playoffs, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, their power play, even if it's slowed down, that just means it's league average.
It won them that last game, and it's not even their most impressive special teams, in my opinion.
No, it isn't. And that's crazy to think because 6 months ago, that was their driving point of the team. And I think the thing that's setting it in for me right now, because obviously McDavid's still doing his thing, Draisaitl's still doing anything, but it's like, even if they're not, they're doing it without them. Like, this isn't Draisaitl. This isn't like the Hawks series where McDavid had 9 points in 4 games or whatever the fuck it was. Like, everyone else is helping out right now. And if you can continue that, fuck, man. Like, that's all you needed. Like, the way that, like, what was it? Dallas had 6 shots halfway through the game last night?
Oh, my Lord, yeah.
Dude, like, what better way to make it easier on your goalie who has trouble than just never have the puck in their end?
Yeah, you can't score on Stuart Skinner if you can't get a shot on him.
Dude, they're making the deepest team in the NHL look weak. I'm on a loss for words, genuinely, on that series. Like, every time I watch a game, I'm just like, why is Dallas struggling right now? Genuinely. Because Dallas should be fucking wiping them down the floor because they can go 4 lines deep. But whatever system Knobloch's got instilled in this team, it's dynamite, man. And
can we just say that the Oilers are good defensively and know to play playoff hockey now? Can we just say that?
Which is fucking insane to even think about. But, like, what was it? Probably like game 4 against Vancouver. That's where this probably instilled.
That's where they had to flip the switch, yeah.
And they haven't looked back since, dude. Like, we'll see how tomorrow goes. I really need to see because, like, if they just fucking step on their throats and end it, they're my top pick. But if they let Dallas fucking walk on them at home,
I feel they kind of got to win it tomorrow.
You have to win tomorrow. You can't go back to Dallas. You can't.
No.
The pressure's all on you then. It's not on Dallas. The pressure's all on Dallas tomorrow. It's all on you, Game 7, if it gets to it. Because, let's be honest, this is the closest McDavid's ever been to a cup. It might be the closest he ever will be to a cup. You never
know, man. Like, you can't count on a player like McDavid and Draisaitl, but also, like, this very well could be their only chance. Like it's kind of like Ovechkin. Like that's the furthest he's gone along, and then he went all the way and won a Stanley Cup. Like, you never know. Like, when you're there, you gotta get there.
Call me crazy, but Connor McDavid needs his Patrick Kane Game 5 against LA game. He needs his Game 7 against LA.
And on home ice in Emmett. That building would explode.
Remember Game 7 like 2 years ago where he just kind of fucking single-handedly beat the Kings? We need one of those.
Can't forget about Mr. Game 7, Cody Ceci as well. They are former Leafs, but they also have a few former Blackhawks too.
Yeah, well, Duncan Keith's not there anymore. So
no.
But I don't know, man. The Oilers are getting me hyped right now, straight up. Like, I'm sitting there Wednesday. We're at team night. Me and my coworkers are sitting there, and I'm like, dog, this Oilers team, I don't know how they're doing it, but they're doing it. And if McDavid can get a cup, I'm going to be so happy. And, like, I'm explaining to my coworker, Jalen, just, like, because his nephews play hockey. And I'm just like, dude, the fact that they're growing up in the McDavid era is fucking nuts. And that's coming from someone who grew up in the Crosby Ovechkin era. Like, it's a great era to grow up in, but
yeah.
Holy crap.
Right after the lockout, like, speaking of which, like, if the Oilers make it to the Cup final the first time since 06, 18 years.
Yeah, they could legally vote now if they were.
But yeah, I was looking at tickets to potentially go to the game tomorrow. They're like $450 for nosebleed per ticket. Like, it's absurd, but the building's gonna be packed. No, 450. 450 per ticket.
Sorry, I know you said 1,500. I was like, people are paying a month's rent to go to this game. Hold on.
Yeah.
450
for their 50 square foot studio apartment. Yeah.
Jesus
No,
Christ.
it's not that horrible yet, but yeah, yeah, that place is gonna be electric. Like that building might explode if they win tomorrow. Like it's been crazy outside. I've heard like when they won yesterday, I could hear horns honking outside. Yeah, it's the vibes are immaculate right now. They're such the Oilers are such an enigma of a team. Like they were I don't think they got to bottom of the barrel, but at the beginning of the season they were so down. Like they were like second last behind only the Sharks. Only the Sharks were worse. And then they went and won 8 games in a row. They switched their coaches. Then they won 16 in a row. It's like we've seen the lowest of the low with this team, and we've seen the highest with the highs. And it feels like the discussions we always have with the Oilers. You think they would be a much worse team, but it's like when you see this team play to their potential, they're easily the best team in the league because you have to deal with Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, and they're like their depth is not flashy. It's not as good as Dallas's, but Chris Knobloch said like they're underappreciated. Like they get the job done. They're not as flashy. Like they know what they need to do, and I totally agree with that. Like they can play good defense. Like they really know how to bounce back. They really do. They're relentless. Like it's the cliche playoff stuff. Like you can't really quantify, but like there's so many wins seen them pull out, and it's like, damn, that's a ballsy win by the Oilers. And I've been saying that more and more. Like being down, like each playoff game that they go on to, it's gonna be the stakes are gonna be bigger. But I just think of them being down 3-2 to Vancouver and coming back and winning that, and then being down 2-1 to Dallas. They were down 2-0 in game 4, and honestly, I thought Dallas was going to run them out of out of their own building and then take it back to Dallas and potentially win in a gentleman's sweep. But scored 5 straight, won that game 5-2, completely shut it down. Pretty much played a perfect row game by all accounts, and like the only goal that Dallas got was like a perfect tip by Wyatt Johnston. Yeah, it I hope they win tomorrow. I think they win tomorrow, man. If it like you said, you never know how many chances McDavid's gonna get at this, and same with Draisaitl. Like I think they know that. Like if not now, then when? You know, I think they pull it out tomorrow.
Yeah, if they don't, things are gonna get really interesting. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
Because like I said, pressure's all on Dallas right now. Like they should have probably shut this shit down, but you know, up 2-0 in game 4, and now you're down 3-2. Like it's pretty crazy.
The swings are crazy. And like back to the power play is up. Like I think they were 50% in the first round. It's obviously slowing down. There's some regression, but now I think it's kind of correcting itself out with them scoring 2 power play goals. The first special teams goal that was scored was that Matthias Janmark shorthanded goal because Edmonton's given up nothing on their penalty kill. They killed again relentless ballsy wins. They kill off a 4-minute minor in overtime. McDavid got robbed by Ottinger. Like McDavid took that penalty. McDavid got
that
robbed.
Game should have proved you McDavid was ready to fucking win this series.
Yeah, and then he went out there and double overtime, won the game. But it was like he pointed right at Evan Bouchard. Like he knew that was all him. So.
Evan Bouchard is turning into their Brent Seabrook, and it makes me mad because I think we all were saying that in 2018 watching Evan Bouchard as a prospect. We were just like, this guy's the Seabrook clone. It'd be nice if the Hawks drafted him. Nah, let's go off the grid.
I did not to like twist the knife anymore. I wonder how close. Yeah, how close do you think they were to draft? Do you think that was like, oh, we're gonna go Boakfist, or do you? I
remember watching the live thing. They saw Hughes go, and they're like, Boakfist is still on the board. We're taking him. Highest upside. I love how they're going highest upside with the defenseman, and then they go with Doc the next year. I don't know, man. Bowman's draft style really did confuse me. Let's just put it that way.
It was kind of over. It felt like it was so inconsistent to put it that way.
Yeah, agreed.
And I still don't think Stuart Skinner is that great of a goalie, but I mean, like, credit to him. He's made the saves he's had. Like, the only stinker really in this series was that fucking Jason Robertson goal. But like, other than that, I don't think he's played that. Like, he's doing what he needs to do. And that's all you need. That's what we said so much about this Oilers team. Like, let McDavid and Draisaitl be McDavid and Draisaitl. They got Evan Bouchard's a superstar now. Zach Hyman. This isn't getting tough. Like Zach Hyman, I think has 12 or 13 goals. Like if he goes on a hot streak and the Oilers go to Cup final, like he can challenge for the.
Say that again. Zach Hyman has 13 goals in the playoffs right now.
Or 12 or 13, which is still ridiculous either way.
Dude, he's a dog.
No, 13. Okay.
He's literally
Nugent
on
Hopkins
April 2017 run.
Yeah, Nugent Hopkins silently has 20 points, and he had 2 huge goals last night. He had the game-winning goal against Vancouver. I mean, we talk about McDavid and Draisaitl, like how they've been like tortured being in Edmonton, how the team building is. Man, Nugent Hopkins was there before all that. He was drafted in 2011, is still with this team.
He's been to
his point per game in the
trenches.
playoffs.
He's the Eric Johnson of this team. If we want to really
Yes,
go that deep.
yes, that's a perfect way of putting it. Former first overall pick, hasn't been great, but he's there. He's
Dude,
well.
we remember I think we all said the same thing when he got that 8-year extension. We're just like, that number's great, but I wouldn't want him for 8 years. Dude, if he's doing this for 8 years, that's a effing steal. He had 100 points last year. Oh no, he only had like 70 something this year and still went crazy. Like
I guess he'll just
really
have to make up
improved
for the
his
points in the playoffs. Yeah.
Oh no! I guess I'll just like single-handedly carry my team to a Game 5 win, like on the road.
Yeah.
Like,
Can't forget.
everyone's doing the right thing at the right time, and Dallas is going to have to wake up, straight up, because they have the depth to, and I'm starting to get to the point where I'm going to blame DeBoer because I think the way he's deploying the lines is a little ludicrous, but you got to fucking figure it out because if you don't, you're going to be going home tomorrow. So
you're potentially out in 6 games again in the Western Conference for 2 years in a row.
Yep, and let's not pretend like Dallas hasn't been close the last 5 years. Like we can go even farther.
We've said this; they've done everything but one step. Like they could lose this year, and they'll still be a President's Trophy contender, a Cup contender for next year. Like
facts
for the Oilers, I think like they don't have the kind of depth that Dallas does. Like they don't have guys like Wyatt Johnson or Logan Stank. I mean, you have the best players in the world, but like the Oilers are not getting any younger. They don't have really a bunch of help on the way. Like it helps you have Bouchard. Like Dylan Holloway has shown glimpses of what he could be, like being potentially like a top 6 guy. Phil Broberg, I mean, he's looked great. That could be another thing, but they don't have much help other than that. Like the Oilers have to get it done this year.
They have to, and if you don't,
and they're playing like it,
and that's all that matters. So I can't wait for tomorrow night. I guess we should talk about tonight because that game's in like 30 minutes, so we're recording. Yeah. But
that's right.
I definitely have a couple things to say about.
Say them. Speak your truth.
What the hell is going on with the Mika Zibanejad line for the New York Rangers?
Hasn't it been him and Panarin?
Dude, him, Panarin, and Kreider, all 3 of them. Your cornerstone pieces are not showing up. Adam Fox has not had a playoff goal in 30 games almost.
That's crazy.
And Adam Fox has been incredible. That's not even against him. That assist he had to Lafreniere in, I think, game 4, nuts. Absolutely nuts.
Oh, speaking of like Lafreniere, like you're getting these kind of performances out of Trocheck and Lafreniere, and
you gotta capitalize on that shit, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Igor is
Goudreau has 6 goals.
Yeah. Igor standing on his fucking noggin. Like, you got to figure this out. If they lose tonight, I'm sorry. The finger's going to get pointed at Zibanejad, Panarin, Kreider.
As it should, yeah.
Fox. Like, you're getting everything you need to win a cup besides your stars performing. And I'm not trying to speak from experience because, like, we've been spoiled. We've gotten to watch the Hawks win 3 times.
Dude, we got a lifetime worth of championships.
But, like, let's be honest. Like, now this is what I'm trying to make it to. Because, like, on all 3 of those cup runs, was there any time where Taves or Kane wasn't fucking the catalyst of?
Nope. Not that I can think of. And if, like, Taves wasn't, then Kane was. Yeah.
Exactly. You're not going to win a cup if Panarin's fucking not performing. Straight up. You're not going to win a cup if Zibanejad's not performing. That's just how it works. Like, you can even look at the Oilers. Like, McDavid's probably not having the postseason he wants to have. He's got, like, what, 4 goals? Doesn't fucking matter. He's doing everything he needs to do.
He has 25.
That's the point. That's the point. If you're not going to score for the competitive level, then it's just...
To kind of like put in perspective how well, like kind of to just go back to the Oilers, how well their top players are playing. I saw like Evan Bouchard has more points. Is like got to 50 points in the playoffs quicker than Cale Makar did, and like he's right behind like I think like Paul Coffey and Brian Leach. The most assists in a playoffs was Wayne Gretzky with 33. The most points is 47. I don't know if he'll reach that, but there is a possibility where McDavid could break the most assists in a playoffs. And like I said earlier, Zach Hyman could potentially break the most goals in a playoffs, which I believe was 18 or 19.
Yep, and they got max 9 games still to play. So like it's
very much
you
possible.
see what it takes to get here. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I remember hearing a lot of shit about Sam Reinhart not performing before Game 3. Sam Reinhart's the number one reason why Florida's winning this series right now. Besides Gustav Forsling. Like, I think we had this talk before the pod started. Gustav Forsling's on like a Nick Lynch.
he's their best
right
defenseman, and that's no knock against Ekblad or Montour. But that's how good he is.
He's so good. And I'm not trying to defend Quenneville, but like, there's definitely a reason Quenneville thought this kid could play in 19. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
That way.
He saw something. Absolutely.
He definitely saw something, and his development. Like, and here's the thing: like, the Hawks can't even be mad at themselves. There's 5 teams that fucking made this mistake with them. Gustav Forsling has been on waivers twice. Like
Carolina,
everyone.
like one of the most analytically driven teams. Put Gustav Forsling to Carolina would have been the perfect kind of defenseman for them to develop and like be their next Jacob Slavin. But no.
Nope. And they put him on waivers.
Yeah, I don't feel bad about that at all.
No, I don't.
And I don't think the Blackhawks would have developed him properly anyways. So
Bowman would have traded him.
Yeah, exactly.
Again,
maybe with Luke Richardson it would have been different, but yeah, what's happened.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. It's just like Florida's depth right now, the way they're playing on the puck and off the puck. Rangers are gonna have to fucking dig deep tonight. Let's just put it that way, because I just think Florida wants it more right now. Straight up. There have been multiple times in this series when I turned on, I'm like, did the Rangers know it's the Eastern Conference Final? Do they know that like they're 2 games from a Stanley Cup? Like, do you want to like actually give a remote fuck about the game you're playing? I'd like to see the Rangers play a full 60. That's all I want to leave it on. So
I know you're drinking, so like, all right, I'll let him piss.
To be fair, it's the first time I've drank in a week. So
no, dude. I know the hours you work. You deserve that.
I don't get many days to do this anymore, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I will in Vegas, though.
Oh, yeah, dude.
I'm gonna have
a couple drinks myself and not a chalky milk.
It's not even the drinks I'm excited about. Like, Pierce, I'm ready for you to see just the environment and the food, dude.
Oh,
food
I'm so excited.
Fucking good in Vegas. Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, I got my hotel booked.
All gonna be banging.
Yeah.
Like, we're gonna go to some fucking kick-ass buffet. Like, it's gonna be so fucking good, and we're gonna pay $20. We're gonna get anything we want. Sorry, we should probably go back to the pod. But
yeah, we'll leave that in. Simply put,
we'll leave that in. Thank you very much.
Might as well.
I mean,
simply put, the Panthers and Oilers just have that dog in them. Like, they just want it more. Like, you can see that. Like, we can put it as simple as that. They want it more. We're seeing that.
100%.
It's funny enough. Like, it's gone. The series has gone the same. Like, Florida won the first one and then lost games 2 and 3, but then won 4 and 5, and same with the Oilers. So maybe it's meant to. Edmonton, like, out of those 4 teams, Edmonton, Florida would be the most chaotic Cup final, I think.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. Definitely not the one I expected, but it would be a fun one for sure. Tkachuk versus McDavid one more time. Either one's getting a cup. I'll be pretty happy in that situation. I think that's the beauty of the Final Four right now. Like, I'm pretty content with any of these teams winning the Stanley Cup. I feel like most years we get to the Final Four and it's just like, we really just want this one team to win right now because the rest of them are really annoying. But
the worst one of that was 2019 with fucking Boston.
Literally, it was like when I had to watch the Packers and the Steelers in the Super Bowl.
Hitler versus Stalin, if you will.
Like, Jesus Christ.
We should name that the podcast, Hitler versus
Stalin podcast. All right.
The people would love that. They would click right away. What?
I can't believe they're doing this on this.
They click on it, it's actually Hitler and Stalin. Yo, that'd be crazy, dude. All right. Igor Shesterkin in 43 playoff games has a .928 save percentage. No shutouts though, so kind of a bum, I think. Just can't get it done in the big games.
And that's no disrespect to Bobrovsky too, because Bobrovsky's got like a 905, but like I'm sorry, every save he makes is a fucking $10. Like,
Well, it's kind of
insane.
like what Skinner's doing. Like he's not having to face a lot, and he hasn't had to been amazing, but he makes the saves he has to.
100%. And I just, dude, I'm actually really pumped now to watch Game 6 now that we talked about this, because like the more I think about it, the more I'm just like, dude, the Rangers cannot lose in 6 in a conference final again because their stars didn't show on. These are the guys you locked up to 8-year deals, and they're not doing it. If I'm James Dolan right now, I'm fucking pissed. Like, you're telling me the fucking 21-year-old's
This is why I didn't trade a first, because I want to make a pick at the Sphere. And you suck.
And now as Ranger fans, I'd be more mad. Let's be honest. Like,
true.
Holy smokes.
True. Owned.
Yeah, Trouba's gonna fucking elbow Reinhart in the back of the head, and all hell's gonna break loose tonight. Now that I think about it, but like once again, like the Rangers are in a spot right now where they have, if they don't win it this year, they're gonna have one more year to do this shit, because Keandre Miller's bridge is gonna be up at that point. You're gonna have to pay him out the ass. You're gonna have to pay Alexi Lafreniere out the ass. I think that's this offseason. Actually, yeah, you gotta pay him out the ass. Yeah, that playoff run's really gonna hurt when you don't win and you gotta pay him. Just want to point that out. Like, you know what? Let's do a deep dive real quick, Pierce. Let's go look at their cap friendly.
Give me Keandre Miller with Alex Vlasic, please.
Yep. So Alexi Lafreniere, RFA this offseason. Have fun with that one. If I'm Alexi Lafreniere, I'm not taking anything less than 6, because that's what I'm worth. And like, let's not pretend like he didn't have like a 50+ point season this year. Like, this kid's gonna get a raise.
He's only getting better. Like, that's patience, folks. Usually pays off.
Oh, never mind. They got lucky. They got spared. He's got one more year. Sorry. You got so lucky. You got so lucky, dude. If you didn't, oh God. Kakko's up this offseason, which I don't know what they're gonna do with him. He's 23.
I haven't noticed him that much.
Yeah, that's a guy, if he becomes a free agent, the Hawks take a fucking flyer on. But
I would trade like one of their mid-round picks to get Kakko. It'd probably be a bit more, but like I'd trade I would trade one of their late seconds for Kakko.
But here's where when I say they have one more run at this is why I mean it, because obviously I think the biggest signing this offseason is going to have to be Ryan Lindgren. I'm trying to sign Ryan Lindgren long term if I'm New York, but that's going to cost you. So like, they have at the moment, sorry, I'm trying to like go through the cap situation. So they're going to have 10 mil in cap this offseason. They'll be fine. They have 33 mil next offseason, but listen to who they have to sign. Alexi Lafreniere, not going to be cheap.
Nope.
Freaking
there's probably potentially a quarter of that gone, almost. At least like a fifth.
Here's where the problems arise, because you have Keandre Miller, who's also up. That's not going to be cheap.
Blackhawk.
And then here's the biggest problem. Igor Shesterkin's going to need an extension starting July 1st. And if I'm Igor Shesterkin right now, I'm not taking anything less than 9.5.
I need more money than the guy I'm playing against.
Dead ass, bro. Like, I need more than Sergey at this point. Like, I don't envy the situation they're going to be in.
Bare minimum $10 million for Shesterkin.
No, seriously.
And he's worth it too.
And he's fucking worth it, dude. He's the only reason you're in this series right now. Straight up.
928 save percentage playoffs in his career, and he has like a 921 save percentage in the regular season.
And he probably should have won the Hart Trophy if Matthews didn't have 60 goals, which like if they didn't give Matthews like the pity Hart Trophy, like they gave Fleury the pity Vezina Trophy, like this wouldn't matter because Matthews had 69 goals this year. So it's just like you look like more idiots now than you did 2 years ago. But that's a whole other thing.
Got a whole offseason for that. Just go through all the awards.
Dude,
who should have won?
100% though. Like, pressure's all on the Rangers. Like, I think we talked about this with the Panthers. Like, the Panthers know their window and they're fucking capitalizing on it right now. Like, they're one. All credit goes to them, in my opinion. Straight up. And it goes to their staff because, like, look at this. You want to talk about an offseason of change? Listen to this. Listen to this real quick. Anton Lindell, Nick Cousins, Ryan Lombo, Sam Reinhart, Vladimir Tarasenko, Steven Lorentz, Josh Mahura, Ekman Larson, Kulikov, Montour, All these guys are up this offseason. Stolars. If Florida doesn't win this year, we're going to see a completely different team. Straight up. And I think they realize that, and they're playing like that too.
Well, it's the Oilers and the Panthers. I think they both realize that. It's a thing of like you never know. Like now is now. You're there. You're so close to it, man. Like you can't let it slip past your fingers.
100%. And both teams will look completely different if they don't win. Even if they win, they'll be different. Like the Panthers are literally in the 2010 Blackhawks situation, where if you don't win the Stanley Cup, even if you win the Stanley Cup, you're losing a third of your team.
You have to make tough decisions, and I think like they'd be probably the best decision of keeping Forsling. Montour,
I'd keep Forsling over Montour any day of the week.
Yeah, 100%. And like I would love Montour on the Blackhawks, like short term kind of thing. But that's we could talk about more about that later. But yeah, like Montour let go. I think Ryan. I have a feeling Reinhardt's going to take less and stay in Florida. But then there's also like
probably, but also like if some team offers him $12 million.
Yeah. Blackhawks offer him $25 million for 2 years. Let's go.
Get excited, Hawks Nation. But Sam Reinhart is about to get generational wealth this offseason, and you can't help but feel happy for the guy.
Yeah, couldn't get anything going in Buffalo, then he goes to Florida and blooms and becomes a 50-goal scorer.
Facts.
I win Stanley Cup for a good measure.
I
gun to the earth. Who do you think wins tonight? I think Panthers pull it out tonight. I think they're going back to the Cup final.
Call me crazy. And that's the prediction I made earlier on.
You think it's going 7? I would like that too.
7. I think Mika Zibanejad finally figures it the fuck out. And he has a 2-goal game.
Now or never.
If he doesn't, then you're going to have some legit questions come off season because he can't make $8 million and not perform in the playoffs.
Nope.
Oh, he's got 13 assists. I don't care. I really don't.
Sometimes you got to.
This is the guy who scored 50-something goals. Like I know he can score.
Yeah.
Ugh. And Panarin too. Like Panarin didn't perform when they lost in the first round last year.
Maybe the Blackhawks were right in 2017.
Do not defend Stanley. Please. I do not need this right now. Oh my gosh. But
all right.
Yeah, gun to the earth. I think the Rangers might squeak a game 7.
$1.
Like, let's put it this way. I got more faith in the Rangers than I do the Stars right now. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that.
Because I think I really do think we're in for either a McDavid or Draisaitl masterclass tomorrow. I just don't know who it's from yet. Can't wait to watch either one. I'm so pumped. Playoffs have been so good this year.
Hear me out.
We talked about a bad first round. I'll take a bad first round if this is how the next fucking 3 rounds.
We've gotten the reverse of what feels like probably the past 5, maybe even more years of playoffs. Is like the first couple rounds are so good, and then it just feels like it drops off. It feels come conference final, cup final, and now it feels like it's going the other way. Where first round was okay. Like there were a couple good. Like I mean, that Vegas Dallas series could have been a conference final right there. Second round was pretty good, but yeah, conference finals have been so much fun to watch when I've had the time to. And I think once we're finally gonna have like a cup final. It feels like we haven't had too many cup finals where it's just like all out war and like 6-7 games. Every game is like by a goal or two. I've said this so many times on this podcast since we started. I want to see a game 7 overtime in the Stanley Cup final. I need it to happen. One of these years it's gonna happen, and it might be this year.
Dude, it better be because like these final 4, they're gonna beat the shit out of each other to get to this cup, and it makes me excited because like it makes me kind of bummed too because like it's of course the year that I finally get like a legit job like this. The cup,
the hockey, the quality goes up. Yeah,
like come on, man! Like you couldn't have done this like 2 years ago when the whatever. It's all right, but like hockey's in a good spot right now, and I honestly it brings me to what I want to talk about next because I don't know. I've been talking about it in my office a lot. Like the PWHL had a fucking great first season. Like
Minnesota,
congrats.
They had what 3-4 months to plan all that, and this is what they pull off. Give them a whole off season.
Can we get Chicago a team, please? Like it
sounds like they're fears away from that. But from what I can't remember if I was listening to the
I'm
Chris
mad because
Johnson.
if we could get a team this year, we can get Sarah Fillier, but it's all right.
I think I was
It's all
listening to the Chris Johnson show, and they were saying like it's probably gonna need another few years till expansion, but they did neutral site games in Pittsburgh and Detroit, and they sold it very well. I would be shocked if there wasn't a game in like Chicago.
There has to be. I will literally
Yeah.
fly to Chicago to go see that game, man.
Fuck, I would too.
So
I would too if I knew.
Road trip.
If there's one in
PNS
Edmonton, yeah, if there's one in Edmonton, I'd 100% go as well. Obviously, yeah.
and I'll go to
Going
Edmonton
through the-
too. Fuck it. I'll fly out for a day. I don't care.
But
sorry, go. Sorry.
I was gonna say, like, they were given so little time. This is what they pulled off. Like, give them a whole offseason to cook. Let them get, jerseys. They're gonna get. I know they're gonna get people like to design the jerseys and do them very well. Team names as well. From what I heard, I think Haley Salvian said it that they're gonna announce it in August. So that'll be something to look forward to. Is seeing the new jerseys and the team names. Going through the playoffs, I wish I watched more of it, but honestly, like, I haven't watched much of the NHL. It's like I'm now at a point in my life as an adult. I remember being a little kid of like, how can people keep up with this? But then like being an adult, it's like you can't watch every game. You can't keep track of like all the prospects. You can't keep track of like every like, yeah, there's so much to keep track of. So I didn't really watch much of the PWHL, but from what I heard, like it was so much fun. I think Toronto chose Minnesota as their first round opponent, which is so, and that's the thing I think that's so cool with the PWHL. Like they're doing it their own way. It's not just the PWA and NHL, and it's just the same game. Like they have some cool rules for the game. They have I think it's the power kill or whatever it's called. If you score a shorthanded goal, then that means the person that was in the box for the penalty, they come like they're trying so much stuff. They're having so much, like it just feels like they're truly there to have fun and play hockey. Back to the playoffs. So Toronto was up 2-0 on Minnesota. Natalie Spooner got injured for Toronto, who I'm not sure if there's awards or if they've announced any awards, but Natalie, from what I was hearing, like Natalie Spooner was going off and she might win an MVP. She got injured, and of course, naturally.
Oh, Natalie Spooner fucking killed it in Toronto this year. Like yeah. I was watching that all year. Her goal scoring in the PWHL was actually insane. Mm-hmm. And like the fact that she's in Toronto while MPP's in Montreal, like let's start that right now, please. Like,
oh, and that's another, like I think they're doing another draft. Amanda Kessel is going to be in there. Like, so more good players are coming in. But yeah, Toronto naturally brew.
Like, women's. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say, like, naturally Toronto blows a 2-0 lead to Minnesota. I know Minnesota faced Boston in the final. It was game 4. Minnesota thought they had won in overtime. I forget why the goal got turned back, but then Boston won that game, and then Minnesota goes into Boston and wins anyways. So again, you couldn't have done it better the first year. I'm excited what they have in store. It seems like they really got off on the right foot, and I'm excited to see what expansion there could be. What new up and coming women hockey players there will be, because I know we've always said like cheer for women's sport. Can we put to bed now that like women's sports like are entertaining? Like you don't even have to look at look at what the WNBA is doing. What Caitlin Clark. I'm sorry, the average American knows. The average American knows more about Caitlin Clark than probably any like hockey player. Like that's how well the WNBA is doing. Like Cameron Brink. Like there's so many young women basketball stars, and it's awesome. And also, she plays in Indianapolis.
Oh, dude, it's great for the market. 100%. The Pacers just made it to the conference final. The Fever have Caitlin Clark. Like this is the stuff we want in sports. Straight
and I also love that you just said a thing of Angel Reese. That's perfect. Who do the Sky have? They have a very
Sky have Angel Reese. They have Kaylee Cardoso. They just won WNBA championship 3 years ago. Literally, the parade happened right outside my apartment. That shit was awesome.
Oh my god.
WNBA is sick, man. It's crazy because like my favorite player doesn't even play for the Sky because it's A'ja Wilson. Like A'ja Wilson is the GOAT from South Carolina, and she has back-to-back. She's got 2 championships, an MVP in Vegas. Like she is the GOAT. Like Pierce, You know what? Like, I want to look up and see if the Vegas Aces are in town when we're there because I want to take you to see it.
I would 100% watch a game. Let's
Dude.
do that.
Oh, the Aces are so much fun, dude. Oh my god, Asia Wilson's.
Didn't they win
fucking
last year?
Yeah,
Or
no,
like a
they
few
did.
years ago? Yeah.
No, they've won back to back, and she's
Oh, shit,
she's
all
literally
right.
got a statue outside of University of South Carolina.
That's so awesome.
Like she's
yeah.
the goat, dude. Like, oh my god, this just got me so excited, dude. Yeah, I need to look at the schedule after we end this podcast. My brain's going in a million different directions now. I'm super.
If we can't go to Lady Gaga, then we'll see a WNBA game.
I'm so mad I can't go to Lady Gaga.
I know.
I don't even know. My mom and I are sitting there, and I'm just like, oh my god, Lady Gaga's in town. I need to see if I can go to this. And it's
Dude,
like,
if only you were able to come
Thursday and
into
Saturday.
Yeah, if you're only able to come into town, like even like stay an extra day, we would have seen Lady Gaga.
Dude, I might take an extra day off just to see Gaga. Shit.
Let's do it. We gotta do it, man.
I might, but I just booked my flights.
We'll talk about it after the show.
We'll talk about it.
Serious discussions. Yeah.
Oh gosh, that just got me excited. Oh man.
Yeah. Can't wait for it. Can't wait for Vegas. It's gonna be a fun time.
A closing topic. Matthew Tkachuk wore all black to a funeral tonight. Yeah.
They might just be going on.
Florida might shut this shit down, no exceptions. All right. Here we go.
But yeah, kind of like the game. Well, I say the game started at 6. It's probably gonna start at like 6:20, so we probably got a bit more to kind of to wrap things up. But yeah, with the PWHL, I'm excited to see that grow. Like I think there's a lot of great personalities in women's hockey. Like I still think Sarah Nurse is a great personality. Like, and there's gonna be a lot of young women hockey players. Like I'm just so excited to see the growth where it's gonna be in a few years. And man, even if it's for a neutral site game, I would love to see a game in Edmonton. I would fly up to Chicago and see a game there too.
100%. I think a trip to Toronto's in order at some point.
Yeah.
Just for like a Leafs and a, Toronto PWHL game. I think that'd be a lot of fun. But
yeah,
it's the future opportunities for the PJS cast going forward. Right?
Yeah. And I forgot what the hell I was gonna say. Oh yeah, Kendall Coyne Schofield, captain of Minnesota.
Oh.
And Taylor, it's Heisey. Yes, okay. I'm like
Taylor Heisey's
say
fucking
it like
gross, by the way. Holy smokes. Like literally all my buddies and I talk about her just because she's fucking dog. Like I'll just be sending them highlights of her just going bar down. I'm just like, yeah. And people say women's hockey isn't sick. Like it's the same shit they said about UFC 10 years ago. And guess what? Women's UFC is still fucking amazing. Like,
yeah.
Crazy. Women can do cool shit like men. It's really crazy concept when you think about it.
I don't get the things of like, oh well, it's like these women expect to be paid exactly like I don't think they do. Like,
no, they just want recognition.
That's what I mean. Like I've said this. Like if they can, like these women have been working just as hard as the men have their entire life. Don't you think and they go to school, they have to have extra jobs, a lot of them. Like, don't you think they should be able to make at least like a livable wage off paying that, plus sponsorships and stuff, and do what they love? Like, I don't think any of these women players are like, I need to make like $12.5 million a year like Connor McDavid. I mean, it'd be cool if they could. I mean, it'd all be cool if we could make $12.5 million a year, but I think they're realistic. They just want to make a livable wage. They want to do what they love. They want to get recognition, and they want to win fucking hockey championships. So that's what I'd say to that.
100%.
No one watches women hockey. Well, most of the arenas sold out. I'm pretty sure the first few PWHA games, like a million people watched it in Canada alone. Like, yeah, shut up about that.
Yeah, exactly. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you want to close it off on? Because I think we've had a pretty good show today.
I agree with that. Kind of like rapid fire, I guess. Blue Jackets hiring Don Waddell.
Love that, honestly.
I do like that for the Blue Jackets because Don Waddell has only worked with smaller market teams, like obviously transformed the Hurricanes from, a team that wasn't ever really that bad, but kind of just always fell short of making the playoffs, and turn them into a team where they were consistently making the playoffs, winning at least a playoff round every year. But I think Eric Tulsky with the Hurricanes, maybe he's what they need to kind of change things, get a new, set of eyes in there. Maybe he'll do things differently to help Carolina get over the hump. Don Waddell worked obviously with the Hurricanes. He also worked with the Atlanta Thrashers, which is about as small market like as you can get. A lot of the times I feel with like I think of Ottawa with how Brian Murray handled, I think, Eugene Melnick. Like you just need an older guy in there with like authority to be like, just hey, back off, let me do my job. Like we're even seeing that in Vancouver now with Jim Rutherford and the like we hear a lot about Francisco Aquilini, but Jim Rutherford's like, okay, just let me do my thing and we're gonna win games. Like we're gonna get to I think Don Waddell can kind of do the same thing. A bit of an older guy. I don't know what Blue Jackets like ownership's like. I don't think they're on that level of Ottawa or Vancouver, but Don Waddell knows what it's like to work in a smaller market. Like there's pieces in Columbus. I think he can kind of help take them to the next level.
100%. And I think he's coming from a situation where they didn't have like a superstar. And I think that's where Columbus is right now. But I think Columbus has the same amount of talent that Carolina has. They're just not.
Yeah, I think they're pretty similarly built, which I think that's why it'll work out.
100%. And he's getting the 4th overall pick to work with, which is always a good starting point. And he's getting a good amount of cap space. He doesn't have a lot of contracts that are locked up more than 4 years. Like this is a good spot to be in as a GM for sure. And it's an ultimate FU moment because you're in the same division as a team that you left. So we're gonna really see if Tulsky's that hot shot. Because like, let's be honest, Tulsky's been a GM candidate for 4 years now. He would have a job. It was good.
Blackhawks interviewed him. I think the Penguins interviewed him. There's probably some other teams that I don't remember or exactly know, but yeah, I think this is exactly why they kept him for this moment. Because it feels like every like couple years now, it's like, oh well, Tom Dundon, plays hardball with Don Waddell and Rod Brind'Amour, and obviously Rod Brind'Amour is a special case because he was played there for a long time and wants to be the coach here, doesn't want to go anywhere else, and that's his choice. Because if he was on the market, like you're telling me the Leafs wouldn't throw like a Mike Babcock contract at him if they didn't get Berube, or any other team for that matter, close to that. Like he could easily make so much more in the open market, but Rod is a special case. He's staying in Carolina. Don Waddell's like, I'm older. I can move along. Like I don't have a younger family. I don't need this shit. I'm going to Columbus. I'm going to start anew.
And I think there's always been a power struggle there with him and the owner. So
yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's how Tom.
Like he's been wanting. Yeah, we can get into way deeper on this, but just briefly, I think this is beneficial for both teams. You're going to see what Carolina really has because you won't have him running the team anymore. For Waddell, this is the time to have an FU moment with Carolina, I think. And I think Columbus is in a situation where they could do that if they can figure out the goaltending and figure out the defensive depth. And just staying healthy. It's like, it'd be nice to get a full 82 games of Patrick Laine. You know what I mean? It'd be nice to get a full 82 games of Adam Fantilli. Like, these are things that could help you get more wins down the line. But yeah, I agree.
I completely forgot what I was going to fucking say, but
yeah. What's next in the rapid fire? We talked about Waddell.
Well, this is probably the last one, but Dan Bylsma being hired by the Seattle Kraken. What do you think? Because when I texted that to you, you're like, oh. But clearly you love it.
That's why I can't stand Ron Francis, bro. Like I had an issue with them when they signed.
Speaking of former Carolina GMs,
yeah. What in what right mind with the core that they're trying to implement in Seattle makes them think they can get a coach that hasn't coached since like 2015. Like as
2017 was the last he coached, but in the
NHL, and he coached fucking Buffalo. He was the guy that fucking ran Jack Eichel out of town. Like, dude, I'm sorry. Like, there's no one that can motivate me about that signing whatsoever.
Jack Eichel, who allegedly stated he would not sign a contract extension with the team had Bylsma remained head coach. That's after they fired him. That's crazy, dude. But I mean, it's been a while since he coached. He did a very good job with Coachella Valley, so I guess we'll see. But for me, it's just like there's better options out there, like Jane Woodcroft. I feel Dean Evison because I think to me, Minnesota and Seattle are pretty similar with their team, like how their team is built. I feel Dean Evison could probably be a perfect fit for the Kraken, but no.
Dean Everson, the fact that he's not hired yet is kind of annoying to me, but that's a whole
Him
nother
and
thing.
Jay Woodcroft, yeah.
Yeah, Jay Woodcroft's too busy doing like Aura commercials or whatever the hell
Yeah,
he's
that's
doing.
right. But one cool news from this is that I think Jessica Campbell, like she might be on either on the team as an assistant coach or she might be the head coach of Coachella Valley, which is pretty cool. Again, women say winning in sports.
Yeah, that's all we want, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, but
That's
Jessica
what
Campbell.
it
No,
was.
sorry, I was just trying to respond to a text. I apologize. Jessica Campbell is a fucking hell of a signing, and I really hope that she gets on this Kraken coaching staff because, I mean, Coachella Valley's probably about to win another AHL title, or at least try to get one because they're kind of dominating that form of the Calder Cup playoffs right now. So I think we need more of this in the industry, and I think we're going to. I mean, you look at what Toronto's doing right now. You look at what Vancouver's doing. Like this is where the league is shifting, whether your pea brain likes it or not. Unfortunately,
And you know what? These front offices don't give a fuck about that. If this woman is qualified, if these women are qualified for the job, of course they're gonna fucking hire them.
100%. It's like, oh yeah, all the stuff she's done actually qualifies you more than just you being a dude. It's crazy.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to end up the podcast. Like support women in sports, yeah, all that stuff. I don't know if you got any closing notes, or we can end this off. I thought we did a pretty good
This is a
podcast,
great
2 hours.
show.
Yeah, with the mock draft, I definitely got to do more. Like, we'll do another version before the draft because there might be more picks moved potentially. But yeah, like I'll have to brush up a bit more on my prospects. But yeah, next time we'll do like I go 1, 2, you go 2 kind of thing. Yeah, whatever.
No, and we got time to do
Alrighty.
another one. Like we got a month
Yeah.
to do research, and like
Hell yeah.
we'll do one right before we go to Vegas. Why not?
Hell yeah. Man, by the time we do the next show, we can know who's in the Stanley Cup final. Like it's crazy. We're in June now. We're starting to. It's gonna be the last month of like hockey, like the draft and free agency, and then again everyone's going to college, so we gotta enjoy while it's still here. And I think we're gonna be in for a great game tonight, regardless
Dude,
of what
I'm
happens.
pumped. 15 minutes to puck drop. I'm ready to go.
All right, let's end it off. Thank you for tuning in. If you're listening to this via audio form, we've got Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Give us a 5-star rating. Leave us a review while you're at it. Why don't you? That helps us out. For watching our beautiful faces on YouTube, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything. Also, hit that like it's button, smash that like button. So, yeah, thank you all for tuning in. Enjoy your weekend, and we shall talk another time. Peace out, y'all.